I lost every limb in this war I'm in, would you round them up and piece me back together again? Say a prayer over me as my soul ascends. Ask God to forgive me for my sins. Sorta like a czar in a set, but rule back in Egypt. Would I return as a mythical leader? Would the rebels die with me in the name of freedom? Trapped in the bowels of this barbaric region. Gotta fight until the children stop killing one another. Cops killing bunches of us, that's enough of us. Men with the single mothers, brothers, single mothers. Let the men raise warriors. Jettison the fear, we will bear casualties of war. If we don't fight, there'll be even more. There'll be dark nights when you might lose a husband, might lose a son. There's a sacrifice for black life, like.
Abiba Hodie, African liberation, freedom comes with bloodshed. Black Families Day is Sunday, March 18, 2012, and I want to welcome you to the KOS program on War on Horizon Radio. I am your host, Sister Nefertari, Mary Moot Nzinga, and I want to begin tonight's program by saying happy 7th month Earth Day to my baby girl, Kania Asada. She's 7 months old today, getting extremely big and energetic as each day moves forward, and we are so blessed to have her with us in this world. Also, Black family, I would like to let you all know that tonight's program is going to be dedicated to the memory of Trayvon Martin. If you don't know who Trayvon Martin is by now, you must be living out in those woods somewhere, and that's okay, because some of my brothers and sisters out there in those woods, they ain't really staying tuned to what's going on in the regular media because they too busy getting it right. So, but most of you should know that Trayvon Martin was a young man who was murdered by a cracker by the name of Zimmerman in South Florida. I guess just I'm not sure, maybe about a few weeks ago now. Unfortunately, you know, it's a horrific tale, but it's one that we have heard again and again and again and again. I just wanted to take time this evening to dedicate this program to him. If we could take a quick moment of silence, I would really appreciate that. Ashe. Black family, tonight's program is entitled, What Must the Black Woman Do to Help Get Us Free? It's going to be jam-packed of practical things, practical stuff. Nothing theoretical, nothing over your head. You ain't got to break out any, shouldn't have to anyway, break out any dictionaries or try to translate what is being said. What I have asked our panel tonight, we have a panel of brothers and sisters who have graciously accepted our request to join us this evening. I have asked them to come up with 3 things, each one of them, 3 different things in which they believe the black woman can do immediately to help us move closer toward liberation. And so again, these items are going to be practical. This is stuff that you can start doing, no questions asked, hands down. And so I want to give the call number. We're going to get right into the show because we have 4 sisters who are going to join us during this first hour. Then at 8 o'clock, we're going to take a break. We're going to have 3 brothers who are going to come on the line during the 8 o'clock hour who will join us, and they will also give us 3 items. Let me give you also the way tonight's program is going to go. Once the sisters have gone through their items, we're going to talk with each one of them, and at that point, we're going to open up the lines afterwards. Close to the 8 o'clock hour, we'll open the lines and get your feedback, your questions, your comments, etc. Then we'll take our break. And we'll come back from the break, bring the brothers on. They'll go through their items. And then after they're finished closer to the 9 o'clock hour, that's when we will open the lines for discussion on their suggestions. Now, Black family, the number to call in, 760-569-7676. That's 760-569-7676. The code is 948-656#. All right, we got a very hot show today. We got a lot of people that are already calling in. People were on the line before I even got the conference call up and running. I logged in and there are people waiting on the line. So make sure you tell your family members, tell a friend, Facebook it, tweet it, whatever you need to do, text it, get the information out there. This is Black people, that's us, our community, coming up with solutions to save us. So this is very important discussion, very important community dialogue. I want to make sure that everyone out there as well has a pen and paper ready. Our programs are designed to be classroom oriented. You should be able to walk away with something that you can take with you and you can use. So please make sure you have a pen and pad ready, so you can jot down some of the information, or if not all the information that can be brought forth this evening to you. Now, Black family, we have with us 4 sisters, and I'm going to go through and give you just a brief introduction about them. When they come on the line, they'll be able to tell you a little bit more about themselves if they choose to, or they can jump right into their suggestions. But I'm going to give just a brief introduction of these sisters. They're strong sisters. The first sister, her name is Sister Lisa, out of Philadelphia. You may have heard her on War on Horizon Station a number of times. She's a member of the KOS organization, Children of Southampton. She's also a manager in the city of Philadelphia for one of the city offices there. She's a mother. She's a wife. Very active in the community in general. So she will be joining us this evening. We have Sister Shabazz, who is also no stranger to War on Horizon. You hear Brother Irritated Genie joke with her a lot. She's coming out of Detroit, strong sister, and she will be joining us this evening. She is also a blogger. She has a blog entitled What Mothers Seldom Teach. She's also a YouTuber. You can catch her on YouTube. Her YouTube name is Most High 1979. She puts out a lot of informative information. I've gotten a lot of help from this sister in terms of just home economics, things that we as women can do to make our homes and our families better, healthier, etc. We have Sister Sutanette, who is coming out of the Maryland area. She is the founder of the Village of Isis. Many of you may be familiar with the sister. She's on Facebook. A lot of people are familiar with the sister. But if you're not, you can also go to her website. It's the Village of Isis.org. She's also a YouTuber, a blogger, and a blog talk radio host, all under the same name, Village of Isis. You can make sure you can check her out by going to YouTube, Blog Talk Radio, or just blog or her blog for that information. You can learn more about her. And we also have Sister Fasami, who is also no stranger to the War on Horizon Station. Sister was with us in the very, very early part of establishing this station. But she has never stopped doing the work for the people. She's coming to us out of Ohio. She is now the co-founder of an organization, and she will correct me if I pronounce this wrong, so please forgive me. But she is a co-founder of an organization called Asazi Ye Duru. She's also a blog talk radio host as well. Black family, I just want to unmute these sisters. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and unmute the sister. Sister Sutanette, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, sister.
All right. 1 second. Let me go ahead and get Sister Lisa. Can you hear me okay, Sister Lisa?
Yes, I can.
All right, great. Sister Shabazz, are you on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And 1 moment here. Hold tight. I don't see Sister Fasami's number yet. She may be just calling, and I'm not certain. So we'll give her a little while. I'll just keep checking back to see if she calls in. Or if you're on the line, Sister Fasami, and you're calling in from a different number than you provided, just send me a text message or a Facebook message and let me know, and I'll make sure I go through the numbers and unmute you. But let's go ahead and jump into this, ladies. I'm going to start with Sister Lisa, and again, when I come to you, you can feel free to tell us a little more about yourself if you want, or you can just jump right into answering tonight's question. Sister Lisa, how you doing this evening, sis?
I'm good. A Bibi Fahodie family.
The Bibi Fahodie, yes indeed.
I'm going to jump right into the discussion. I've been thinking about the 3 topics, and just left her, I have to say it was hard to pinpoint 3 because there's so many.
Yes, ma'am.
But I want to start off with saying that in order for us to be free, we must first understand what that means. In order for us to understand what that means, we must realize that we are currently existing in a system of racism. And I'll refer to Dr. Frances Cress Welsing about the system functions in all areas of people activity and how we can better get out of this situation and free ourselves. The first activity is economics. I think that we must pull our resources together in order to build within our communities. And maybe we can go back to kind of establishing a bartering system where we trade different skills or different specialties with each other. I know the group of sisters here in Philadelphia that we work with, and we have household projects. We'll go to each other's house and we'll help out, whether it be painting or whatever the case may be, and we'll devote our time. One of the things is education. We need to share our knowledge of our story and not their story, and develop and help develop someone else grow and understand what has impacted on us and why we are where we are to embark upon this journey of re-Africanization.
Mm-hmm.
In the entertainment field, we really need to control what our children are exposed to and discuss the impact of the message that this technology is sending them. As far as labor in our workforce, I think that we need to begin to teach skill-building programs in our community with our young people in the educational department because, everybody is not academia, and to bring back the skill buildings would be important for our young men and women as well. Seamstress, carpentry, electronics, and stuff like that. And as far as law, we need to know our rights.
I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop you right here, sister, only because... And it's okay because, like I said, I kind of let all the panelists know this evening. I know it's going to be hard to kind of narrow it down to 3, but what I want to do is make sure that everybody go through everyone and everybody gets theirs out. And then if we have time before we hit the phone lines, I'm gonna come back around and ask you about the other ones you may have. So let's start with the and by the way, sisters and brothers, I know you brothers are on as well, listening. I'm going to give you each like about 10 minutes just for time's sake to kind of go through and explain what you have, what you have come up with. So let's just go through the first 3 that you had, sisters. I want to make sure you went through them, and I want to make sure that, again, the audience has the opportunity to write them down and think about them as well, if not now, even throughout the week. The first one you mentioned was economics, and you said we should pool our resources together, for example, bartering, and you mentioned that in your local community that one of the examples of something that you and sisters do there is you share household chores amongst each other. Different projects you may have, like painting. I think you gave an example, correct?
Right.
Did you want to expound on that one anymore?
Yeah. What you do is whatever it is we decide to do for a project, whether it be gardening or redoing a room. We just get together and we go into that person's home and we work on that project together until it's complete. And then the next person's turn, when they have a project in their house, then we get together and we go to that person's house. That way we're spending our time. Also we're developing relationships. We're making sure that people know about the right systems or ways to do certain things. And we're educating each other, and we're learning, and we're developing, and, it's not just a man job to redo household things, redo rooms and furnishing and stuff like that. So that has worked. It's only like 2 or 3 of us. It's a small group, but it helps also with time, making sure that we get what we need to get done in a very timely manner, because if 3 people are working as opposed to 1, then, we get the project done much easier.
Most definitely. Now, another one you mentioned was education. And if you could just expound on it, you said we need to teach, if I'm not mistaken, you said teach ourselves and our children our story.
Right. Education was important because I think for me, when we share our knowledge and we tell our story, we find out that, all the things that we have learned are really lies. And so if you impact just one person and bring them into knowing who they are, that strengthens our community in its entirety. and then that person begins to want to learn about themselves, and you put them on that path, and then most times people go on the path for a search of knowledge, and it's a thirst that you get, that you want. Once you learn something about all the lies that's been told to you growing up in your family, in your community, in your school, you tend to want to learn more and more and more. And then that's, it's everybody has someone who has impacted on them to bring them into the re-activation process.
Got you. Excellent, excellent. Now, the last one I think you went into was entertainment. You want to expand on that? We said teaching our youth.
That's a big one. Mm-hmm. Our kids are just exposed to a lot of the poisons in the world with the technologies. You have to control it. I know my child, I have a 17-year-old, and he does not have internet on his phone. And he only has a phone because he travels to a school and it was distance. So he does not understand that. But I can't as a parent feed into what he wants and his desires. I have to, as a parent, feed into what I know is right and what is wrong. Because my thing is, there's too much exposure out there in technology, and the internet can be a helpful tool, but it also can be a hurtful tool. And the way it's been used, with the Facebook and the MySpace, and you have seen a lot of destruction in relationships, even within our own community. So you have to control what is being impacted upon your children's mind.
Most definitely. And I just want to make sure, let me just do 1 second. Sister Fasami, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Okay, greetings, sis. We're just going through each sister, so I just wanted to make sure that you were able to hear. I just wanted to unmute your phone. So we're just going through the lines. We were talking right now with Sister Lisa, and she's going through her 3, and we'll be right with you in just a few moments. So I'm going to keep you unmuted unless you want me to mute you until I come to you. I don't know if you have any background noise. If you want me to mute you?
Yeah, please, because it's djembe's going on. It's a big festival, so you can please, mute me.
No problem, sis. We'll come to you in a second.
Thanks.
No problem.
Thanks.
Okay.
And Sister, I'm sorry, even though I didn't get to the other ones, I was just kind of doing the 7 systems. I really want to just add on, because this was really important to me, family. Family was the most vital system for me. I think because if we understand the family unit in its entirety, we understand that it's about creating a system within itself, within the system, to protect, nurture, and support the total system of the family unit, which means that the family, kind of extends throughout. It's not just our biological family, it's our extended family, it's our spiritual family, it's our cultural family. And I think when we understand the family unit, we understand that our culture has always supported uplifting the family. And families tend to pull together for economic purposes, for business purposes, for spiritual purposes. And so, once you strengthen the family in a cultural basis, then you build more soldiers and warriors, females and males. Because when we talk about warriors, we always want to refer to males. Mm-hmm. We never want to refer to females. And we have some strong female warriorettes, if you want to call them, out there. So I think that, family really is the most vital unit in this system.
Asante says, Asante, I appreciate that. Those are really, really strong and very, very strong suggestions. And again, hold on to the other items that you had, because time bearing will be able to come back around and perhaps revisit some of those as well. Let's go to Sister Shabazz. Sister Shabazz, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go to you, sis. What did you come up with for tonight's question? What must the black woman do to help get us free?
Well, everything I came up with is really simple, because my philosophy is pretty much you can't have a strong community without a strong family, strong friendships, things like that, but especially a strong family. So the first one was start cooking dinner from scratch and sit at the table and eat. I said that because, number one, you can guard the health of your family by using whole foods and using herbs to keep your family healthy and be able to heal your family. You don't want to feed them a lot of processed foods with a lot of chemicals. It's not healthy. Just learning basic herbal medicines, You know, a lot of us are on prescription drugs. Prescription drugs kill and make you unhealthy, and you can't fight battles. If you're sick, you're going to lose battles, and there's going to be a lot of battles coming in the days to come. Sitting down at the table allows you to reconnect with your family and communicate. A lot of us are really out of touch, especially if we have teenagers or things like that, or even a spouse. You go to work all day and you come home and sometimes you really don't talk. You sit down in front of the TV, and eating at the table, a healthy meal helps you to be able to bond and communicate. It also helps to make the family stable. That's one thing that a lot of people who did eat around the table remember after they grow up. It's just the family time that they spent. And if you want to take it to another level, you can add exercise in there and do a family walk after the meal. So that was the first one. The second one is more for, I guess, the single sisters, and that's stop making sex so easy. Men naturally compete under normal circumstances to have access to women. And when they have to compete for women, when they're not just able to get a woman, take her to White Castles and have her.
Not White Castle. To White Castle.
And sometimes it don't even take White Castles. They might not even put cheese on the burgers. It might just be a plain hamburger, and that's all it takes. That competition between men trying to get a woman, a good woman, not a woman that's involved in a lot of foolishness, but a woman that will make a wife. It's going to breed honor in them. They'll want to be more successful, legitimately successful, not illegally successful. They'll get more masculine skills. They'll know how to work on cars and fix things and do things that men should definitely do. And they'll be more likely to protect their family because there is that competition and they want a woman. And if we have higher standards, they're going to have to meet those standards. When you don't have those standards, men don't feel the need to be committed. They're not mature and they're not stable. They'll leave you because it was easy. It sets a bad example for your children when you make sex easy. A lot of women who you see who are just in pain, they have nasty attitudes, they hate men. A lot of times it's because they gave it up easy and now they've been hurt and they're vulnerable and they act out like that. So it's really protecting yourself and your own emotions and your own mental state to respect yourself a little bit more than that. The more you give yourself away to men who are not deserving of you, your value goes down, your self-esteem goes down. Valuable things are hard to obtain, and if you make it easy, you're lowering yourself. So that's something we need to get away from, and if we do it as a whole, I think the brothers will start to step up, and that will improve the community. The last one is stop making excuses for each other and stop defending bad behavior. When we act uncivilized, especially in public, but even behind closed doors, it makes us all look bad. Then you have all the stereotypes for black women that we're basically fulfilling. If one sister is doing something and she's out of order, it turns into, all black women do this, all black women are loud, all black women this and that. So instead of making excuses and saying, yeah, he deserved it, or yeah, you did right, we need to pull each other's cards. I know me and a few friends that we have put a stop to that a while ago because we've known each other a while. We've known each other's husbands for a while. So you can't just call one of us and say, my husband is evil, he's so terrible, he did this, he did that, because the first thing we're going to say is, okay, what did you do? Because we're familiar, we know each other's husbands and their temperaments, and we know they're not these monsters. So even if it wasn't totally your fault, could you have reacted better? Could you have handled the situation better? What did you do to fuel the fire? We put the emphasis back on each other. So either number one, we'll handle it better next time, or number two, we won't even bother calling each other because we know we don't have to answer that question. We don't want to have to answer, and that's what did you do? We don't want to answer that question. You don't want to put yourself on Front Street. And it's just like back in the days when we used to listen to rap music, and they first started coming out calling women the B word and the H word, and our favorite thing to do was say, they're not talking about me. I don't mind it because they're not talking about me. What we didn't realize is they are talking about us, and it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's the same thing when we allow each other to act any kind of way. It becomes normal. We normalize it. We make it okay. And we're in the situation we're in now. So those are my three.
All right. Oh, no, these are excellent. I just want to recap them. You said number one, you said let's start cooking from scratch which will in turn help to make us healthier, which I think is excellent because again, we have to be healthy if we want to fight any type of battle. You know what I'm saying? And we also want to be healthy if we want to be able to be more productive in our family with our family. So that's excellent. You said stop making sex so easy. Particularly, you said speaking to the single sisters on that one. Stop going
I hope the married sisters don't easy.
Nowadays, you kind of got to say, you never know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the way this world is right now.
Right.
But I think that was excellent. Stop making excuses and behaving badly in public. You should stop making excuses for each other. If I want to make sure I have that one correct, but definitely you said pull each other's card when necessary.
Right. Don't defend each other's bad behavior.
Exactly. Okay. Excellent. This is very good, Black family, and I'm going to go to the student net next, and I want to just let brothers and sisters know the reason why we're doing this is extremely important because a lot of times, we want to point fingers at each other and say, if the brothers just did X, Y, and Z, then we'd be friends and be free, I should say. And the brothers want to say, well, the sisters, they just did X, Y, and Z, then we would be free. But what I wanted to do tonight was kind of take the guards down. We're coming up with some suggestions, and it's in the mood and I want to come with a level of respect for each other when we're doing this. And so this, I think, is important because we're at a point right now, Black family, where we are faced with extinction from planet Earth. Whites have pledged a full onslaught of war against us for the last probably 3,000 years. And we have yet, I think, as a people, to really stand up as a whole, not individually, not just this group over here, that group over there, but as a whole, we have yet to really stand up and fight against this. So we want to kind of start saying, okay, we gotta catch up. We were really behind the 8 ball. Let's start doing some simple things to kind of heal ourselves, heal our families, heal our community, which will in turn make us stronger as a unit to fight against racism and white supremacy. So I'm going to go next to Sister Sutanette. Sister, I want to thank you for calling in. She was early. Sister was prompt. I appreciate that, sister, for being there on the line. And so I want to go to you and see what you came up with for this evening. And again, if you happen to have anything, or not again, I didn't state this, but if you sisters are coming up with anything that overlaps, it's okay. Just speak on it from your perspective. And again, if you have anything extra, we'll go over it in just a little bit towards after we've gotten through everyone.
Okay. Abibi Fahodie, I want to start first out by pouring libations for all the sisters that came before me. I think that's very important before I speak about anything. I do have 3 points, and the first is that I see it as imperative that the African woman recognize and accept the obligation, honor, and position that comes with being a quote-unquote conscious Black woman, and she needs to realize that she has to uphold her duties. Mentally, spiritually, economically, physically, financially, because it is key for the Black woman to have herself together to restore Black civilization. I mean, we are the mothers of civilization. I mean, life comes from our womb. So we are key. And of course, we stand next to, our brothers in this global war on the African. So it's key that she recognize, her obligation as self, as the complement to the Black man, and as a mother. Secondly, I think it's imperative that she understand, unless she's truly free of non-African ideologies, and I'm not going to just say Western, because people always want to talk about racism, white supremacy, but one slave master is no different than any other. Brother Neely Fuller, he said, if you don't understand racism, white supremacy, and how it works, everything you think you understand will only confuse you. But I expand that to every oppressor on the continent. And right now, if we look at the continent, we see they come in European, Asian, and Arab flavors. So I don't make any distinction in domination. So understanding that unless she is free from, non-African ideologies, customs, and traditions as her guide, especially while negating indigenous traditions, spirituality and customs, she'll never truly be mentally or spiritually free. And she's going to teach this to her children. What is in our mental definitely is in our womb. And this means even when we are pregnant with our children. You know what I'm saying? These thoughts are being formed and planted in the seeds of our babies while they're in our womb. So I just, have to reiterate that one slave master is no different than another, and recognizing that oppression comes in all forms. And, the Yurugu, the Tamahu really doesn't care how they achieve it. But I will say that if you colonize the mind, you colonize the womb. If you colonize the mind, you colonize the family unit, the nation. And if you colonize them, eventually you will colonize them financially and most definitely on the political front. And we do know that defense is part of a nation. So it all starts with the mental, spiritual. And then lastly, I see it as imperative for the African woman to, take back the positions that we had when we organized and ran the markets. So this means in 2012 that we need to engage in trade, commerce, entrepreneurship, whether we start out small, whether we're acting jointly, severally, individually, multi-member LLCs in your community. It could be, a nonprofit. It could be your own business. It could be, various areas of commerce. But, when we think about a nation, we know that there are different areas that have to give off, whether it's the food co-ops, whether it's water supplies, whether it is clothing, whether it is, commodities like oil and gas. We have to be able to engage in all types of markets and stop letting these non-African people tell us what we could be successful in and think that we should leave it to them. Because for me, I see this. My seed is everywhere in the continent. Therefore, the whole world is my domain. That's just how I see it. In 2012, it's about moving forward, and redefining the feminine presence. That's it. That's how I see it.
Okay. Strong. Let's recap yours. Make sure that we got them correctly. The first one you said was we should recognize our obligations to ourselves as mothers, as well as compliments to our brothers. The second one was free ourselves from non-African customs and or guides. And the third was to take back our positions we've had in the past when we ran the market. So we want us to kind of get back into different various areas of commerce, get back into economic aspects of our community. I want to make sure I got those correctly. Okay.
Ain't no consciousness without money, sis. We can have a lot of people walking around deaf, dumb, and blind. But they don't have any money, and you can't be rich. You can't have wealth, and then you have no knowledge. It goes from one end of the spectrum to the other. You got to have balance in all areas.
Most definitely. Thank you so much. Those were excellent suggestions. And again, if you have any additional ones, just hold. Because I'm looking at the clock. We may have time to get in some more if time permits. But definitely, thank you for those three. Did you want to say at this time, I meant to ask this to Baz too, but did you want to say anything else? I gave a brief introduction about you early on. You'll definitely have time at the end of the first hour, but I did want to also extend that as well if you wanted to, hopefully I didn't misstate anything when I went through the introduction. Can you still hear me? I think her phone went out. Can you still hear me, sis?
Me?
Yeah, I was saying, did you want to state anything else when I went through?
I'm fine.
You good? Okay.
Great, thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, so next up, Sister Fasami. These are excellent sisters. I really appreciate the time that you sisters took to come up with these suggestions. Sister Fasami, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am, I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, indeed. Coming in strong. So what did you come up with for us this evening?
Say that again?
I said, what did you come up with with I can't even tongue tie.
Don't worry about it, sis. I'm multitasking. I'm actually, you will not believe this, I'm actually sitting here with my little notebook out in Congo Square in New Orleans, and we're right across the street from Yellow Feather. We was in there and they playing the djembes. Oh, it's so African down here. I love it so much.
Oh man, I wish I was there with you. We had some pretty good weather this last week, so I cannot complain. But definitely, New Orleans is a beautiful place to be.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But the suggestions that I came up with is very simple, and it's really just to the point. Start internally defining who you are. Everybody wants to define sisterhood. Everybody wants to define brotherhood. Everybody wants to define this, that, and the third. What being black is, what being conscious is. Define who you are as a black woman in your position, in your place. Mm-hmm. Stop letting everybody from the small hats and the TV that comes into your living room or your bedroom every day telling you who you are. Define who you are. Mm-hmm. And not only define it, be that, live that, and attract that in your cipher. I have had a few epiphanies within the last few months. And this is something that I had to stop giving all my energy to everything and everybody else, mm-hmm. and start defining who Fasami is as an African woman. Mm-hmm. And my position that I play in retrospect to this whole African-centered movement and the revolution, and in essence, how to get free. So that's what I would need for people to do on a personal level. Because how do you know where you're going if you don't even have a blueprint, if you don't even have a definition, if you don't have a goal that you're trying to achieve? Well, I mean, what are you doing? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So start defining who you are. From the family aspect of it, I take education real serious. Anybody who's ever heard me, talk to me, listen to me, anything, they know that I take education and the education of our children very serious. Please, sisters, if you can, however you can, whenever you can, educate your own babies. Mm-hmm. Don't sit up here and give birth to your children and then hand them over your most precious, invaluable, commodity and give it to your historical enemy to educate.
That's right.
Just a few minutes ago, we were standing in front of this statue down here. It's about an Indian chief or whatever, but he was black or whatnot. And it's this white woman standing there telling our story. She's telling a story to a tour bus. She's telling our story. And she's telling it all wrong. And it's so disrespectful. And me and another elder sister are sitting here trying to bite our tongues. I just boulevard my way up there in front and just start taking pictures of the statue or whatnot. But the bottom line is, stop giving your children to our historical bitter enemies to educate. Mm-hmm. Educate your own children the best way you can. Take responsibility for their education, their health, their happiness, their future. It's not up to your enemy to make sure they're healthy. Matter of fact, it's up to your enemy to make sure they're dead. That's to make sure they're mentally or physically and spiritually dead. Mm-hmm. So please take that very serious as far as a community.
That's right.
I've gotten kind of jaded when it comes to this whole black community thing, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. because I'm looking around and I'm seeing how fragmented we are, and some say that it's this, we got to do it this way. Some say we got to do it that way. Some say we got to do it, by raising the Kundalini to the 18th chakra. I don't know, but the bottom line is, when it comes to the community, the only thing that I can tell you is when your children finally do get out of your education system, don't tell them to get good grades and go to college to get into debt, $100,000 worth of debt, to be a slave in somebody's organization. That's the cycle I fell into. Mm-hmm. Don't tell your children to do that. Mm-hmm. Tell your children to take the good credit that they have, actually leverage that and open their own businesses. Once we start opening our own businesses, we will start buying back the businesses in our community. We will start having our communities again. That's the only logical thing I can come up with. But people actually having a sous here in the United States of America, and we get together, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I'm totally jaded against that now. So I'm not sure as far as the community, but that's the only thing that I can tell you, because if you can do it, that would be great. But if you can get your children to do it, that would be even better. Mm-hmm. So that's my suggestion for your personal, your family, and the community.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me just recap these. And I need you to sum up this last one for me a little bit better so I can just get in one statement. But the first one you said was internally define who you are as a black woman. Be that, live that, and attract that. Education is to educate your babies. Don't turn them over to the cracker. We need to educate our own children. Community. Sum up the community one and just sum that up for me. And because I kind of blended it with the education.
It does. It really does blend in with the education. Don't tell your children to go to college and get in debt and be slaves. Mm-hmm. Start buying back these businesses in your own community. That's how we can actually rebuild our community. If we start building, thank you, beloved, thank you. That's how we can actually start getting our community back in order if we actually start investing in our community. Your children probably got better credit than you. So it will probably be more feasible for them to actually go and start the businesses themselves, but don't tell them to go and be a slave in somebody's corporation where nobody will ever appreciate them. They'll never have freedom. So that's what I'm saying. Start buying back these businesses in your community. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know about all of us. Say you in Philly. I'm now in New Orleans. It's other sisters in Detroit. There's other sisters in, I don't know, other parts of Maryland that's on this phone right now.
Yes.
Really? Do you think, actually how we're scattered about how we're going to start a business together? We got trust issues already. How am I going to trust you with my money? How are you going to trust me with yours? We have to be realistic here. And that's the problem. Really, finances is not the problem. We got the money to go and buy $200 pair of Jordans, $500 pair of gym shoes, and jeans.
Yes, indeed.
But the money is not really the issue in the black community. Where we spend the money, what we're doing, and don't just think conscious. Provide a service that will have money coming into your business.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Excellent as well. Again, just excellent suggestions. And, the point you made about not telling our children to go to college just, and to get and getting themselves in debt is so timely right now because as your sisters may be aware, they're building these debtor prisons. And there have been already stories of, or I should say cases, I don't like to say stories too much, stories seems like it's not true, but there have been cases where they have actually just bum rushed the homes of black people over some student loan debt. Yeah. And so this is real talk because we know that college education is on the rise. It's extremely expensive today. It's way more than when I went to college, and it's just projected to get even worse. So that if your children are going to college, you definitely want to figure out a way for them to get a scholarship of some sort where, that's going to cover the majority of it. But if you do have to pay or you do have to take out loans, to the point you just made, we've got to stop. See, we're trained in that mindset. I'm going to go to college and I'm going to come out and I'm going to get a job. And I'm going to work for someone. I'm going to try to make all this money, and that's what I'm going to do. We don't. Whereas other races, they go to college with the mindset of how am I going to use this information to help my family? What exactly am I going to do when I come out? Okay, I'm going to take this information. It's like I like Queen Afua's son, for example. I remember when the first time I heard Queen Afua, her son. Her youngest son was there, Ali, and I remember I think he had just graduated from Howard, if I'm not mistaken, around that time. And he was coming into the family to be the business manager, and it was going to be, his job and his responsibility to really make Queen Afua a nice label, a brand that people recognize. And he has been extremely successful in that, in terms from what I've seen, in terms of really getting Queen Afua out there, getting her books out there, getting her speaking engagements, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he used the information that he was getting to help benefit his family, which in turn benefited the community because we of course got the information. So I definitely agree with you on that and the rest as well. So now,
can I make one last point?
Sure.
Years ago, when I was in college, in undergrad, I read this book, one of the first real books that I really read, and it was called Why the White Man is the Devil. It was by Shabazz and Muhammad or something. I can't remember the authors. But they said, in the back of the book, I can't remember what chapter or page, they said, there's never been a time in history where black people have had more degrees. Never been a time in history where we have had more degrees.
Yes, indeed.
And it's never been a time in history where we have been more dumb. You're not going to school. You're not going to these colleges getting educated people. You're going to these schools to be slaves. You're going to these schools to become educated fools, educated slaves. That's it.
That's right. It's just like there's never been a time in history where we had more politicians who are, that are black, but unfortunately they ain't doing a damn thing for us if you don't have the right mindset when you're getting into office. So definitely.
That's right.
And for the record, just mentioning that we have a new show host Brother Ajabu comes on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Hopefully, family, you've had a chance to tune in and listen to him. If not, please tune in on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. He's coming out of Indianapolis, and that brother is running for a congressional seat. Strong brother, has the right mindset. He used to roll with Dr. Khaled, so if you know anything about Dr. Khaled, you know that he had a strong impact on the brothers and sisters who worked directly underneath him and with him. So he's a good brother who's trying to do something for our people. Now, what we're going to do, we're at about 7:45. I'm going to go to the call. I'm going to open up the calling line, see if any of you brothers and sisters out there who are on the lines right now have any questions or comments. The number again is 760-569-7676. Again, that's 760-569-7676, and the code is 948656#. So if you're listening via the internet, you get a chance to call in. And 1 second here. Let me open up the Q&A. Here we go. I'm opening up the Q&A
session started.
If you have a question, you want to hit *# on your phone, *#. That will put you into the Q&A session. Just hit *# on your phone, and that'll add you in, and then we'll start taking callers from there. So I'll give you guys a few moments to do that. Again, the *#. We got a lot of callers in here. They you keep adding in. So I don't know if y'all want to talk. Come on, join this conversation. This is a conversation for. I'm sorry, I gave the wrong number. 7676.
*6.
Oh, *6. I'm sorry. Hit *6. Thank you very much, ma'am. Hit *6 on your phone. I think I said #6 by accident. So if you want to join the Q&A session, hit * and then the number 6. And it will ask you to confirm, and then you can join the Q&A, and we'll go from there. So come on, fam. We got a lot of calls in here. Y'all sitting in the phone line. Don't be scared, because this is a community session. Okay, I want y'all to know this is a community forum. We're not just coming up with these questions or these suggestions on our own. We want you to be a part of this conversation. So this is your chance to get in where you fit in. All right, Black family. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to go back. We're going to wait until you guys decide if you want to ask a question or not. I'm not going to beg y'all. We're just going to go back to, hold on 1 second. Let me make sure. Hold on 1 second. Make sure I didn't knock anybody off here. I'm going to unmute all the sisters. Hold on a second here. Okay. And missing one. There we go. All right, so I should have all the sisters muted now. Wait, somebody got some background noise. Hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, Black family. So I have all the sisters unmuted now. Sisters, if you have, let's go through. We're waiting to decide if brothers and sisters want to join this conversation or not. We got a little background noise, so make sure you mute your phones. I think Sister Fasami got dropped off because she just texted me because she couldn't hear anything. So let me just text her back and let her know to call back in. She seems to have dropped the line. But if any of you family had any questions or comments about so far what we've been discussing, anything the other sisters may have said, or if you want to add any additional suggestions that you didn't have a chance to, I'm gonna go with Sister Lisa first. Sister Lisa, did you want to add anything or any comments to what has been said so far? And also, family, hit *6 on your phones if you have any questions or comments. I'm afraid that during that time, that may have been why maybe that wasn't working because something happened on our end. So if you have any questions or comments, or you want to add some suggestions to what Black women can do to help get us free, hit *6 on your phone, and you will join the Q&A segment. Hold, here's a brother right here. Hold that thought, Sister Lisa. I got a caller coming in now. Caller, if your line ends in 9830, you are live on the Children of Southampton show.
Yes, ma'am. Peace, Queen. This is Brother Preston Muhammad.
Oh, Brother Preston, Hotep, brother, how are you?
Fine, Queen. How are you and the family, and my beloved brother and the sisters that are there?
Yep,
Good to hear from you.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I wanted to add that everything sounds so very delicious. I just don't know what part of the bill to get started on. I was crying and laughing at the same time.
Okay.
I find that as a healing, one of the things that I think I know for us, and I'm trying to finish my book called Charm and Etiquette, A Dying Decorum Among Men. I changed the title somewhat. Is that I think we really should let our sisters take, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to no brother or trying to blow the sisters up bigger than what they are, but being the mother of civilization, help us to get through some of the madness that we've been so caught up in terms of our treatment of our women. And I just think that that's imperative at some point. I don't know where you want to have the brothers come in, but I would like to come back and add to that, something to that statement or something to that effect in dealing with everything the sisters had to say in terms of the food, the eating, the economics, you know what I mean, in terms of the management and care for the family, the home, and the brother, or the brothers, I should say, as well as with the overabundance of, and not even with the intention of getting married, in terms of the appetite for sex, all that I really want to address at another time. I mean, later, of course, when the brothers come in. So if you just allow me to just come right on back, I'd appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. We're definitely going to have the Q&A at the end of the brothers as well. So appreciate that, brother. Good to hear from you. How's everything going on in the city of...
Yes, ma'am. Very well. And Philly, oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah, I mean, we're working it out.
All right. I know the mayor acting a little crazy up there, but that's a show for another day.
Yeah, I know that's right.
But all right, brother.
He really wants to show that he wants to be their nigga.
Oh, watch the brother Preston. No, sir.
He wants to be there.
We don't use that word here, brother. We don't.
He wants to be their boy.
All right. I'll let you go. So that's one of your first times calling in, brother.
I apologize, Queen. Please forgive me.
All right, brother. No problem. Just hit *6 again during the second hour, and we'll bring you back in for the second part.
All right. Thank you, Queen.
All right. Peace.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next caller, if your line ends in 8765, you're live on the KOS show. Any questions or comments for today's program or for our guests?
Greetings, beloved. Thank you for the show. At this time, I don't have any questions, but I would like very much if you allow me some time, maybe perhaps at the end of the second hour. I have pretty much a 6-page comment about what we need to do, and so I'm just asking you for that time, maybe perhaps in the second hour.
Let me ask you this, Sister Art. Are you on the internet as well right now, or just by phone?
Yes, I'm on both.
Are you on Facebook?
Not right now, no.
Okay. Do me a favor. Can you email me this 6-page portion that you have? Do you have it available electronically?
Yeah, okay. You want me to email you at Facebook?
Let me give. Or I can give you my email since you're not on Facebook. I can give you my email address.
Okay.
It's
ready.
It's building. That's building.
Okay.
At Our Cause. That's OURKOS.com.
Okay, that's building at AURKOS.com.
OUR, like the word hour, OURKOS.com.
Okay, building at OURKOS.com. And your name?
Nefertari.
Okay, sweetie, I'll go ahead. You want me to email this 6-page?
If you can email me that right now, just so I can take a look at it, because we may not have time for the entire 6 pages, but let me take a look at it, and then that way I can let you know, when you come back on, I can let you know how much you'll be able to read. I just want to take a glance.
I really appreciate that. I'm getting ready to email you now, so if you can get me off the phone right now, I appreciate it. Do I have to do something on this email?
Nope, I'll take you off.
Thank you, darling.
All right, sis, thank you very much. Peace.
Peace.
All right, next caller. Your line ends in 2655. You are live. I think I know who this be.
Aviva Hodier.
Aviva Hodier, sis. Queen Jasira. What's going on, sis?
Hey, I especially want to say, Aviva told me that Sister Suchanet and Sister Basami, I don't think Sister Basami's still on the line, but those are two sisters that I hold dear, so I want to be sure to give them some greetings. I'm really enjoying, I'm really enjoying what I'm hearing. While they were talking, there were so many things that I was thinking about, so I guess I can, just share a couple of my thoughts. They're really good suggestions. I know one thing that I first thought of, especially since now with my organization, I'm starting to deal with children and working with counseling them. And one of the first things that that you have to realize that in order for the black woman to be effective in moving us closer to a state of liberation, first the black woman has to understand that we're in a position where black liberation is needed. Until they can admit the problem, quote unquote, then no action will come of it. And that's kind of that like preaching to the choir in terms of the women that are on this call and probably listening, because we have some sort of level of understanding of where we stand as a race. But for the sisters that don't, that would be the first step they would need to do, is recognize the state that we're in currently. I like what Sister Fasami said about homeschooling our children, because that implies that we need to take control over our households. And to me, that also extends beyond not only homeschooling our children, but start having our children at home again and start in our household homeschooling them, like she mentioned, and also in our household start learning how to communicate effectively with our brothers in order to bring about that melodic balance from which we can achieve liberation together. And the other sister, I really liked her point about not giving up the sex so easy, because to me that also speaks on taking control over our bodies and just not allowing any sort of anti-African behavior to occur. Stop aborting our black babies. Stop allowing ourselves to be voluntarily raped by sleeping with these crackers and anything and everything else that is not African. You know, we have to heal our wombs and heal ourselves so that we can continue to give birth to strong black children that will, in effect, be instrumental in our freedom later on down the line. So, overall, I'm really enjoying. I'm glad I called in. A beautiful day to all of you. I love you guys, including the two sisters that I have not had the opportunity to meet yet. And, just stay strong, and I'll still be listening. I'm anxious to hear what the brothers have to say.
Please do tune in, because sister, you you right on time. We about to go to this break. You know I had your song queued up already in the system. This is Sister Jasira. She's very humble sister, but this sister just dropped the hottest album out there right now called Dangerous Mind. And if you want to, if you need this in your life, I guess all I can say, everybody in the sound of my voice needs this in their lives right now. You need to have this album. Tell them how they can get the album, sis. Just tell them how they can get it, because you know better. You can articulate it better than I can.
Well, as far as getting my album, hold on just a second. So straight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. My daughter's driving, but anyway. Okay. So
oh no.
Queen Jasira.weebly.com. That's KWEENJASIRA.weebly.com. So you can go to that website. You can find out all about the organization that I spoke of, our community activism that we're doing in Memphis, Tennessee, and also purchase the album. There's also audio and video. So please support African Insurrection music.
Asante, Abibi Vahodie, sister, and Sister Fasami just came back on the line. Sister Fasami, I wanted to know that Sister Jasira gave you a shout out. No, I don't know if you heard her before you were able to come back on, but she definitely gave you a shout out and expressed love to you for being on the program.
I love that sister so much. Tell her Abibi Vahodie, and I love her too.
All right, Black Fam. I know we're at the top of the hour, but we have a couple other callers. I want to get to them because we had that little interruption there. I want to get to them. Then we're going to take our break. And if you have any questions, and you didn't get a chance to get your question asked, we're going to come back at the end of the show and open up the lines again. But we're going to go to the go to the phone lines and get a couple more callers in here. Just one moment here. Let's see who we have. Asante, Sister Jasira. Next call. If your line ends in 4129, you are live on the Children Southampton show.
Peace. My name is Queen Glorious Earth. Thank you for the invitation on the show.
Yes,
I didn't make it throughout the first portion. I came in on your break. However, I just wanted to add on. I've been doing some reading, and a lot of sisters already are familiar with Queen Afua's material and Sacred Woman. And within her reading, she was just building about how we need to cleanse within, how the universe as a whole is also affected symbolically, within our womb. And where it starts is in the womb. Life begins in the womb. And obviously, the mind has a way in controlling all that is around it. So I say all of that really to say is where our mind is or where our room is will show and prove the mental, physical being and state of our children, of our families, and all that. So as far as what can the black woman do to aid, in progress and development is number one, take care of self. You have to be able to heal yourself, heal thyself, so that you can heal others. And sometimes we find ourselves healing everybody else, and that's necessary and that's wonderful and is very important as well. But when you become in tune, with yourself, then you can find even better ways in which we can connect with people. Yes, I am a homeschooling mother, stay home, but also I realized that in that process, when I was nurturing my firstborn son, everything that I ingested, everything that I read, even when he came forward, like the affirmations that I gave him, it was up on my wall. I would read these positive affirmations day in and day out. And some might say, oh, well, you don't know if that's what really did it. You don't know if that's what made him the intelligent child he is. And I can't say yes or no, but I know my practice, and I know that my effort, I feel, contributed to being who he is today. So I would strongly suggest that, one, we have to train ourselves, we have to train our taste buds when we're, trying to move into new foods, healthier foods, and trying to remove ourselves from the brainwashed ways that we were raised. Is the same we have to do with our diet, our mental diet. We have to train ourselves. We have to correct everything that we were brought up with that is against Africa or against, the natural way of living. And definitely we must begin with ourselves and start that with retraining yourself, retraining your taste buds, retraining your thoughts, your subconscious mind, what you feed yourself, the pictures in your home, the billboards you're looking at when you're walking down the street, the friends that you keep. They say you're only as good as the company you keep, right? So, while we may want to aid so many other people and help everybody else, we also have to find a healthy relationship, male and or female, that can give us that balance that will not only, raise our vibration as we're raising theirs, but, that we coming up together. We don't want to be already on a higher level of frequency, and that in the process of trying to develop ourselves and raise ourselves, we are lowering ourselves because we cannot sustain it by being amongst those who are on a low vibration. There will come a time that those people need to be raised as well, but you have to be stable. You have to be able, to have full control over yourself. Otherwise,
and let me do this, sis. Let me do this, sis. Not to interrupt. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but we are already over the 8 o'clock hour. We got a second panel coming up. But what I want to do is, you are going to be able to hit *6 again at the end of this hour. And so you'll be able to continue. Just hold that thought. I want to make this transition as smooth as possible. I know that some of our sisters have to leave the program. Okay. So just hold that. I appreciate your calling in. And again, just don't, you'll be able to call in again during the end of the second hour, okay?
No problem.
All right, Queen. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take one more caller. And then we're going to wrap up with our sisters. If your line ends in 4777, you are live on the KOS show.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sis.
I just wanted to say that the only solution to the problem facing black people in America is the one that was given to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad by Allah, the best knower, the all-wise, the all-powerful Lord of the universe. And the thing that black women need to do is to try and get our men.
Oh, my God.
Hold on, we got some background noise. Hold on. 1 second. Okay, go ahead, sis.
We need to all try and get this message of divine salvation to all of the lost found members of the Aboriginal people of Earth here in America. And that's the only thing that's going to help us. Our problem requires a divine solution. We've had many people to try and help us and save us, but we can't do it without the help of the Almighty Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and that's all I wanted to say.
Appreciate you calling in.
Not Farrakhan, but just the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Appreciate you calling in, sis. Thank you very much. And what we're going to do here now, I'm going to ask the sisters if they have any final comments in regards to, I'm going to give these sisters the floor on this one. I'm going to hold all of my comments towards the end of the program. But I want to give my sisters who took part into the panel, you can feel free to respond to any of the callers or add any additional suggestions or that you may have had as well. Let me just go to, I'm going to start with Sister Sutanette only because I know she has to drop off at a certain time, and I want to make sure that she gets her final comments. And Sister Sutanette, can you hear me okay? Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, there you go, sis. So if you could give your final comments as well. In your comments, if you could please share your website, blog talk, any additional information, contact information you may have for the family, they can get in contact with you as well.
No, I just want to give, respect to all the sisters on the panel that called in and shared their feedback. I definitely know some, knowledge and wisdom was imparted by all the sisters. And, as always, I stand, as firmly as possible upon my acts. And that means within myself and within my dealings with others. And when it comes to the relationship between the black man and the woman, we deal with complementarity. We deal with African spirituality. We do not deal with non-indigenous spirituality. And this is 2012. If you speak to some of the elders, especially like the Kemetic priests, we know that we are in this age of Aquarius. We're in the age of the feminine principle, meaning it is really up to the sisters to step back, reclaim their place next to the black man. And these old school ideologies, some of which still exist in our community, that put the black woman beneath the black man, behind him, that's old school and played out. And I don't care how popular it was, it's just really, to me, almost spiritually sickening that we still have people coming speaking about certain things, and it's not working. We deal in complementarity. We're dealing with African tradition. We even know that some of the Yoruba's ways have come into our own indigenous spirituality. So I say we have to safeguard our African traditions, spirituality, and customs. If it ain't African in origin, I ain't interested. That means anything that comes out of a Bible, Quran, or Torah. I just really got to say it plain and simple. If we don't conquer the mental, spiritual oppression, then we will never get anywhere. That's it, sis. I'm firm on that.
Most definitely. Did you want to give your contact information for anyone who may want to get more information about the Village of Isis or...
website is thevillageofisis.org. We will be coming back online shortly. I have a new blog coming out this summer. I haven't had time to develop it, but basically, it's about the subtitle is moving forward in 2012, redefining the feminine presence, because the African woman has been so socially conditioned and engineered to think that she is other than who she is, not understanding her history, not understanding her strength. And it's unless that is put back in proper perspective, none of us can fight this global war on the African. And it takes the man and the woman to fight this war. Aset stands next to Asar, and she's packed. She's packing while she's standing next to Asar as well. Let us not forget that. Defense is very important. So that's all I have to say, sis.
Well, Asante Sana for taking the time out to join us on tonight's program. We definitely appreciate it. Appreciate your suggestions that you came with, and I encourage all the family to visit the website, get in touch with the sister, and continue the dialogue. So Asante Sana says, may you have a wonderful, blacktastic evening.
Thank you. Abibi
Fahodie. All right, Sister Lisa, any final comments, suggestions, and I'll make sure I didn't... Okay, here we go. Any final comments, suggestions, or thing you'd like to wrap up with tonight?
Yeah, I just want to wrap up by saying that, the journey for me is ongoing, and for everyone. The journey of re-Africanization has been one of the most powerful, impactful journeys that I've taken. And every day, each day, I reflect on the things I need to change about myself and the things that I have changed. and I want people to understand it. And I appreciate the comments from the panelists. I was actually taking notes, and I liked a lot of the information that was given. I think they were very strong sisters, and I want women to understand that we are strong women. And as the sister before me said, we are at war, so we cannot forget about the defense in this war.
Most definitely. Appreciate that, sister. And again, appreciate you as well for being on the program this evening. And sisters, I know Sister Sunette had to leave early, but I encourage all of you, if you have time this evening, to stay on and hear the brothers. They'll be coming about. And brothers, please hold line. I apologize. We're going a little bit over, but I'm trying to, we'll be coming with you. We may not go to our break. We may just go ahead and keep going. Thank you so much, sister, for joining us as well. And if you like, definitely please stay on the line and listen to the remainder of the program.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you so much, sis. Coming to Sister Fasami. Let me get down here 1 second. Sister Fasami, how you doing, sister? Any final comments about anything the caller said, or any final suggestions that you wanted to make to the program?
Absolutely. The one caller said the only way to freedom is through the divine message given to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from the Divine One, Allah. That's all well, fine, and good. And I'm with her on that to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. I'm with her on that. There is a spiritual part of this, too. It's not just mental and intellectual. Your brain can rationalize anything and everything. However, we are neglecting the spirit. So we need to start focusing on that, too. I'm with her on that. I'm not totally against it, but I don't think that's the only solution. It is a spiritual war. It is a mental war. It is a physical war. It's every kind of war. All areas of human activity, we are at war. We are at war. So that would be my comment to that, and that we need to look internally, because you have all the answers. Get off the street. We have all the answers within you. I'm sorry, sis. Like I said, I'm trying to multitask.
That's okay.
So, going inside, like I said, defining who you are and standing on that, I think that's a good place to start. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say, but I had to address that one thing. Appreciate that. Same with you. Any contact information that you want to share with the family where they can get in contact with you about your organization, or just if they want to continue dialogue? They can always go on Facebook and look up Asase Drew. They can always look up Fasami Akinkunle, F as in Frank, ASANMI, Fasami. Also Akinkunle, AKINKUNLE. But Asase Drew is ASA. Wait, I can't even spell. ASASE. And then the middle word is Ye. YE, and then Drew, GURU. So you can look that up at Asase Drew. So it's both on Facebook, and you can also email me. Nah, don't email me. Just inbox me. Okay, most definitely. Okay. Appreciate that, and definitely, be safe out there. You want to, out and about, but definitely be safe. Are you there now? Did you relocate, or you just visit on vacation? Yeah. This is my new home. Okay, congratulations. Thank you. So you just watch for the Asase Drew updates. You'll see it. It's not going to come overnight, but it's going to come. So as long as I got air in my lungs, even if the name changes, the spirit is going to keep on living through me. As far as we will have our own. Some way, somehow, hook or crook, hell or high water, we will have our own eventually, as long as I got air in my lungs. All right. Well, Santi Sana says, appreciate that. Thank you so much for being on the program. All right, we're going to go to Sister Shabazz. Sister Shabazz, are you there? Are you on the line? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
All right, sis. Any comments for us?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'll start off real quick by saying I'm disappointed. Me and Sister Fasami are neighbors, and I was planning on meeting up with her and trying to meet the sister next month. So I guess that ain't going to happen now. She couldn't wait for me.
No, they got planes. They got planes, sis. That's a nice little vacation for you. We're going to take a trip down to New Orleans.
I'm Muslim. I can't be getting on no plane. I won't make it there. Y'all won't hear from me again. But my last comments are, the advice that I give it to the best of my ability in a very mainstream way, because I know, everybody is not a Muslim. There's Christians, there's nationalists, there's people. Not everybody is going to convert. So I give it in a way to make it palatable for everybody. But everything that I've learned of good, I did get from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's where I was taught, there I was trained, and that's where I got my knowledge from. The mistakes and the craziness are on me, but my training is in the Nation of Islam, so I did want to make that clear, even though I do give everything in a very mainstream way where anybody, God willing, can take it and do what they want to do, but that is my foundation.
Appreciate that. And as always, thank you for joining the program. I know you're a constant contributor to War on the Horizon. So Asadi Sana for taking time out of your day as well to join us. And please, if you are able to, stay on and hear what the brothers have to say. I'm excited what these brothers have to say as well. So
I wouldn't miss it. I might have to come back on and cut somebody though. See what they have to say.
Most definitely. So just bear with us, Black family. Everyone hold the line. Call us. Hold on strong. We're going to take a quick break. It's going to be just a one song. You're going to hear a song from my sister Jasira. Brothers, hold on strong, because I'm going to unmute you on after the break. And I just got to check on my baby. So everybody, please bear with me. And we're going to have a commercial, and then we will start the program back up again. All right. So let me just mute all of our callers here.
Muted.
I'm sorry.
Unmuted.
Muted myself. That's not going to work. So sorry about that. All right, just hold tight, Black family. Let me get here to our break.
I apologize. Black man, I apologize. Warrior, I apologize. My king, I apologize. Hey, I apologize. You, I apologize. I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't realize that you were born into a system that never meant for you to have a chance. That the color of your skin made your birth a special circumstance. As we grew up, I didn't notice your childhood friends, just little boys become black men in prison, become black men who died too soon, become to me as just another number, when to you they were your brothers. So I didn't notice your impressive intelligence become lost in bitterness. Instead, I called you loud, said that you were angry, told you off and rolled my neck, even punished you by withholding sex, then wondered why you went looking for love somewhere else, and for that, I apologize. You must know that I cannot make it without you, man. Can't survive, can you lie? We're all a people and we will travel evil entirely. Our lives will survive. I apologize. See, I heard when you repeated after Jesse Jackson, I am somebody, but I didn't hear the world's reply when their actions said that you were, are, and will continue to be nobody, as they profited from your existence, but still denied your humanity. So I labeled you as having black male frustration. I didn't recognize the self-rejection wrapped up in a bow called job discrimination. And I failed to protect you from the blues and now occupy your empty spaces. But I did call you my baby daddy, when in fact you are my children's father. And I joined the unsupportive society that didn't bother to work with, to help, to nurture you. For that, I apologize. You must know that I cannot make it without you, man. Can't survive, can you lie? We're all a people and we will travel evil entirely. Our lives will survive. I apologize. Well, now for you, I am home, where you can relax in the arms of friendship, for there is where you belong. As a constant source of loyalty and faith, to you I'll submit. You can drink from the counsel of my lips and find a never-ending love and support in the strength of my grip. Even though your self-esteem is under a never-ending attack, breathe freely, my brother. Know that your sister has always got your back. We'll harmonize perfectly together as the lyrics of a song. And yes, I know that to come to this realization, it has taken me, so long. But for that, I apologize. Yeah, I apologize. You must know that I cannot make it without you. I can't survive. Can you mine? With all the people, when we won't tremble, they won't entirely out of line. We'll survive. I apologize. You must know that I cannot make it without you. I can't survive. Can you mind? With all the people, when we won't tremble, they won't entirely out of line. We'll survive. I apologize, yeah. I apologize, yeah. I apologize. So sorry, truly sorry. I apologize. Mind, body, and spirit. Saturday, March 24th, a lecture and dinner, Black family, starting at 2 p.m. at the House of Consciousness, 600 West 35th Street in Norfolk, Virginia. Get your mind right with the irritated genie of War on Horizon as he lectures on the feminization of the black male, followed by new Black Panther Party Minister King Samir. It's time to get your body right, Black family, as he presents Be Ready or Be Dead, Black Survival Skill. And last, but definitely not least, the Master Griot Ashraf Kwesi teaching on the resurrection of the Black Christ, putting your African spirit black in order. It's happening again Saturday, March 24th, a lecture and dinner at the House of Consciousness, 600 West 34th Street in Norfolk, VA. To get your tickets, call 757-208-5142. or 757-328-6883. That's 757-208-5142 or 757-328-6883. Saturday, March 24th, the Mind, Body, Spirit event featuring the irritated genie of War on Horizon, Minister King Samir of the New Black Panther Party, and the Master Griot Ashraf Kwesi. That's right, Black family, at the House of Consciousness, 600 West 34th Street in Norfolk, VA, starting at 2 p.m. It's a lecture and dinner. Call now to get your tickets. Do not miss out on this very, very historical event. The number to call, 757-208-5142 or 757-328-6883.
All right, Black family, Viva Hodie, freedom comes with bloodshed. Asante Sana for bearing with us during that break. And we have an exciting, we'll get right into this. We got an exciting panel of brothers who are joining us. It's their turn to ask this question. I had asked the brothers to do exactly what I asked the sisters to do, and that was to come up with at least 3 things that we could do, that we as Black women must do in order to help get us free. And I asked the brothers to, hold their comments on what the sisters said during the first hour. We want to go right at their particular suggestions, and then at the end, if they want to comment on anything that's been said during the entire program, we'll do so. Black family, we are at about 8:28 p.m. This show was going to probably go over the 9 o'clock hour because we went a little over during the first hour due to technical difficulties and the like. But callers, again, I want to let the brothers go through their items, and then we're going to open up the lines to call in. So you want to go ahead and get your phones ready. The number to call in is 760-569-7676 948-656 £. Black family, we have joining us this evening Brother Louis Ali, who again is no stranger, another very well-known person here on the War on Horizon station. He is the host of the Southbound Lane program. He's also the organizer of the Hot Black Coffee Party. He's a father. He's a husband. He is a community activist. He is the grandson of the late Lewis Allen. If you don't know about Lewis Allen, you can go online and Google that name, and there's a couple documentaries out about this brother. Also, we have Brother Free, who is joining us. He is a student of this movement. He's been a student for decades. He's active in various community programs, extremely knowledgeable on survival tactics. This brother is coming out of the Virginia/Maryland area, joining us this evening as well. We've got Brother True, who is coming out of North Jersey, joining us. He's a member of the African Insurrection Artists United Front. That's right, Black family. They are putting together a phenomenal album that we all cannot wait to hear. But he is a member of United Front. He's also co-founder of the Liberation School, which is based out of North Jersey. I'm going to unmute you, brothers. Actually, I'll just go one by one. Let's start with, in the order I just went. I'm going to start with Brother Lewis. Abiba Hodie, Brother Lewis.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing blacktastic. If you could just speak up a little bit, I'll make sure your phone is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You can hear me well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh, that's perfect. Yep, can hear you loud and clear, brother. Can you hear me? So I wanted to first say, Sana, for joining us on this evening's program. Excited to have you on with us. Did you want to share anything additional about yourself, or did you want to go straight into your 3 things that the Black woman must do to help get us free?
I'd like for us to go straight into it, and I really appreciate the introduction. I appreciate you, Sister Nefertari, for doing this most important show.
Yes, sir.
Some of the things that we may say may overlap in what was said in a previous show, but I would like to say that in order for our sisters to help us, the first step to solving any problem is to admit or to point out what the real problem is. And to be just blunt and straight to the point is, our problem is that we're living under the authority of white people who are unrighteous and unjust. And we live under that authority for one reason, and that reason is that black people, particularly black men, have lost in warfare to whites. And we lost in warfare to whites mostly because of their deception and lies. So as the first thing coming out the gate for black women, the practical thing that they can do is to universally declare among themselves and among our children that we are at war with whites, which would mean that we would have to stop teaching our children to love and be like whites, but begin to give the children from a very young age a thorough knowledge of themselves and their history, our history with whites, why we need to survive in the house. So a good benchmark start with that would be by just simply telling our children their original story. I start with that, with the children first. I believe that another practical thing that our sisters can do is to stop supporting degenerate black men and integrationists, people like R. Kelly, who urinate and desecrate the value of black women. We shouldn't see just lines of black women lining up at his concerts. And even if there are women lining up at his concerts, I think that women should break their pact that they have where they don't criticize or are uncritical of bad behavior of other black women. And I think they should be very vocal about not supporting degenerates and having babies for integrationist Negroes, which these babies ultimately grow up to destroy good black men and women. I had also that I believe that black women should realize that the kitchen is the front line to any battle. I think that our sisters should know how not just to cook, but how to entertain at the table, and those topics that they should talk about at the table while entertaining, which are liberation topics. And I think that most black women could get them a conscious sparring partner. And this is someone who you have respect for, who you know is totally dedicated to the upliftment and liberation of black people, who you can talk to so that when we go through war, and we are at war, and we have to live like we are at war, when you feel a little weak, you could go to this sister who is a mentor, who is not telling you to be down on the black man, but telling you how to endure through the battle so that we get the ultimate prize. I believe with all my heart, particularly conscious sisters who are conscious shouldn't lose their ability to become consolers and to offer men solace, peace of mind, and contentment, to not blab out or repeat what a black man gives you in his black box, meaning that every black man has secrets, military secrets, as well as personal things that have happened to him during the course of his battle or his life. I think that sisters should encourage other sisters not, when you get mad, to use that stuff as a weapon of mass destruction against the black man. I believe that we should stop making excuses when our children, like Trayvon Martin, are murdered, or Oscar Grant in California, or Sean Bell in New York, or our elderly sister Kathy Johnson down in Georgia. It motivates us much if the black woman would just take these practical steps and learn how to motivate black men to win a war. But the first step is there has to be a declaration of war by black women. And last but certainly not least, we cannot have black women more loyal to the church and the white God system, whether it be masked in Islam, Christianity, or Judaism, and expect a black man to trust her. So we must abolish all white so-called spirituality and replace that immediately with some type of confidence in the Creator who created us to be an authority over us and not whites in authority over us. I just would start out with those few simple things.
Well, they're excellent places to start. And I just want to recap those top three and correct me if I misstate you in any of these. The first one you said is that we should point out the problem. We should universally declare that we are at war with whites, and we should tell our children our story so that we can further pass on that information and instill in the fact that we are at war with whites. The second one was to stop supporting degenerates and integrationists. And you gave an example of R. Kelly. And we all know the R. Kelly story unfortunately, very well. And the third one was the kitchen is the front line of any battle. And are you saying, brother, that's a controversial one? Are you saying that black women need to get back in the kitchen?
I'm saying I'm just messing with that they need to be soldiers enough, be security-minded enough, not to allow carcinogens and poisons into their men and children's stomachs and bodies. I'm saying they should be disciplined soldiers enough to resist McDonald's French fries and fast food that leads to a fast death. I'm saying that the original woman knew how to cook.
Yes, sir.
Knew how to take care of her husband. Knew how to keep his attention. I want to say just something that I know you know, but sisters need to know. You have to know how to compliment your men. You have to know how to have a interesting conversation with your man where you can just talk to him honestly and openly and let him be completely honest with you. You have to know that when you are with a black man that this is a team and not individualism, and shun individualism. You have to encourage your man to enter into businesses and that he can do it and be his number one cheerleader. And he's yours also. But we're talking about what you can do. You have to be able to, even though you're a soldier, you have to be able to laugh with your man, so to speak, and make him happy and allow him to make you happy and to please you. And last but certainly not least, when there is disagreement, which disagreement is natural, we have to learn, or the sisters have to learn, to voice that disagreement in the most civilized manner giving critique, if you will, but do it in a soft tone so that you don't arouse the poor man's ego and tear him down and beat him down, because when you chop him up and put him on a plate, he'll be yours to eat.
Food for thought. That's excellent, brother. Appreciate that. Very, very strong. And what we're going to do is I'm going to mute you, but of course I'm going to bring you back on after we've gone through the two other brothers, and to see if you have any other additional comments or suggestions. And of course, when the callers begin to come in, we'll allow you to comment on those as well. So Asante signing for that, brother.
Thank you, sister.
All right, we're going to go to Brother Free. One moment here. Brother Free, can you hear me okay?
Absolutely, I'm here.
Asante signing, good brother. I'm so happy that you were able to join us this evening and you accepted the offer to be a part of this evening's program. Did you need me to correct anything in terms of your introduction, or did you want to add anything, or did you want to go straight to your 3 suggestions?
No, I won't add anything. You did an excellent job.
Asante.
I'll just say Asante to you for allowing us to come on and be a part of the show. I think it's very important that we have these discussions where we involve male and female points of view. So,
Asante, thank you
for that.
Indeed, thank you so much. So what do you have for us this evening as your 3 suggestions for what the black woman must do to help get us free?
Well, my 3. Well, first, I have to say, when you first approached me about doing it, I was kind of skeptical because, in my experience, whenever men get involved in conversations that involve critiquing or criticizing black women, that it causes problems, because black women are automatically resistant to hearing criticism from black men. So the first thing that came to mind when you asked the question was, black women need to grow up. And I know it sounds harsh, but I don't mean it in a harsh manner. I mean, literally, we know that a lot of these things that we're talking about doing, they take families and they take relationships. Well, there has to be a lot of humility and introspection to be able to have healthy relationships. So I would say that black women need to consciously work on emotional maturity.
And how can they do that? Like specific, give an example.
An example. Well, we know that we're all manifestations of our experiences. Now, we know that black women have had a tremendous amount of negative experiences, whether it be their own experiences or experiences they've seen with other women, that they harbor, negative feelings about. And those feelings tend to come up in our relationships and cause issues that have nothing to do with the relationship that you may have with your personal complement. Which it ends up turning us into enemies and having us battle within our household. So I would say emotional maturity.
Got you. Excellent.
For the first one. Second one would be stop basing the quality of your relationship on romantic love.
We can't have no romantic. Ain't we Romans? I thought we were Romans or we Spartans. Or we Spartans?
No, we are not.
We the Norfolk Spartans. Norfolk Spartans, right?
We're definitely not Romans. We're not Spartans. We're Africans. And Africans, we base our relationships on practical things.
Okay.
Not, whether the brother brings you flowers or he bought you a card or some idea that was given to you by the TV or some romance novel. We need to turn the TV off, get rid of romance novels, stop listening to the radio, because the ideas that come from those things are generated out of the mind of small hats. And small hats are trying to kill us. either physically or emotionally or mentally. So we need to stop following what whites give us through media and through Negroes to base our relationships on.
Interesting. Okay.
And the third thing that I have is to let the men raise warriors.
Okay.
And earlier I heard someone mentioning, sitting the children down in front of the TV and allowing the internet and all these different things entertain them. Well, while they're being entertained, they're being raised. Whether there's a man in the household or you need to find, some men who are capable, we need to start raising our children to be serious. Until we have a generation of serious, no-nonsense children whose sole purpose is black dominion, then we're playing games.
Yes, indeed. Excellent.
So whatever you need, needs to be done for you to raise serious children, whether it be having to, reach out to get, lectures or DVDs or, books or whatever, that must be something that black women have in the forefront of their minds. We don't have time to be playing games with how we're raising our children.
Excellent. Let me just recap and make sure I didn't, as I said to the black family, and hopefully the black family, you are taking notes. This is some valuable information. You should be able to walk away with, if not all, some of these suggestions that you can use. I'm talking to the sisters in particular. Brothers, if you are listening, something you can share with your sisters and say, hey, maybe it's something I heard on radio show. You think you'd be able to implement one or two of these things into your behavior immediately. Brother, you said the first one was, black women need to grow up, work on emotional maturity. The second one was stop basing our relationships on romanticism. You told us we can't watch Lifetime Movie Network anymore and, try to expect you to give us what Susie May is getting from Johnny Boy on, whatever. You told us to let the men raise warriors, which is also an excellent one as well, because unfortunately a lot of sisters are single mothers, and we've got to find some strong brothers to help, to step in, particularly if the father is there. We need to be able to allow him into the child's life to help rear the warrior. So I want to make sure I recap that correctly. Is that correct, brother? I don't want to overstep or misstate your...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct. I just wanted to add, as far as the basing of relationships on romantic love, I know that's something that will be a lot of work for sisters, because
that's a lot of work for me, bro. I still slip into that on a regular basis.
We're raised in a culture where women are indoctrinated with Snow White and all these different fantasies, and you expect those things when you grow up in your real relationship. That's not real. At this time in our existence, the number one law of attraction for black women must begin to be, how committed to race work is he? Not how does he make me feel. How much race work is he doing? That should be the number one priority for black women as far as attraction goes.
Excellent. Well, Asante Sana, brother, I'm just making my notes here. So Asante Sana, for those as well, I'm going to put you on mute. We're going to go to the next brother, and then we're going to open up the line for our caller. So please hold the line, Brother Free. Appreciate that. All right, we're going to go next to our good brother True. Brother True, are you there, brother?
Bibi Fahodie, Sister Nefertari.
Bibi Fahodie, Brother True. Asante Sana for being a part of this evening's program as well. Would you like to correct anything I said in the introduction, or add anything additional about yourself? Or would you like to, you're welcome to go right into your three as well.
No, ma'am, it's an honor to be here. I appreciate you.
Most definitely. Appreciate you, bro.
I just want to start off by quoting a common proverb that the family is an army. So these type of discussions are necessary and very important. Just want to start off by saying that.
Most definitely, Santi.
And by The first thing on my list is, sisters, I love you. You are the mothers of civilization. You have to keep your legs closed until you meet a brother that's worthy. You know, growing up in the 90s, I used to listen to an artist named Tupac, and Tupac created a blueprint for rappers. He stated that make music for the women because the women buy the albums, and then the men will buy the albums to attract the sisters. And sisters have a lot of sexual power, especially because men have dropped to a beast state. A lot of men have now reached their God consciousness. You know, you have men. If women say, I'm not dealing with no man that sags. In one day, you have every black man wearing their pants like Urkel the same night. You know, so sisters have to really keep the line. I mean, men spend crazy amount of money they don't have and elaborate things they don't need, all for the sisters. So sisters, please hold the line. Start dealing with men who respect themselves, who respect you. Start dealing with men who are providers and not legally. Start dealing with centered revolutionary men. And not just conscious, because a lot of men are conscious but do not act on what they are conscious of. And one of the big things that I've noticed is a lot of sisters deal with men because of their potential rather than their kinetic energy. And I don't care how much potential he has. If he's sitting on the couch getting high all day, it doesn't matter. You got to deal with the kinetic energy. What is this brother showing you, right? I don't care what he's talking about.
That's right.
Now, don't get it twisted. If he's acting on his potential and you see him making steps towards that, then that needs to be honored and saluted. So that's the first thing on my list. Sisters, keep the legs closed until you find a man that's worthy. The second thing for me is, my sisters, stop accepting these fags in your circle. My observation shows me that it's mostly sisters allowing those freaks amongst them. You know, you really don't see a group of men rolling with a dice. You know what I mean? But you see a lot of sisters rolling with those damn fags. That has to stop. You know, I'm almost cursed. Pardon me. That stuff has to stop.
Strong.
It's enabling their behavior, and you know, understanding the nature of us as African people. We're social creatures, and those freaks need to feel like they're outcasted for rebelling against nature and embracing the enemy's foreign culture. And also realizing that we teach without teaching. And, you know, the children, they're observing our behavior. So by accepting that type of behavior, and the children see that, they think it's okay. You know, and if they think it's okay, they'll think that it's okay to accept that death lifestyle. And by accepting that death lifestyle, you're basically saying it's okay to be under European white rule. Because if we Africans were in rule, this behavior would not be tolerated. So in order for us to get free, to be free, we must get rid of everything that is anti-African, and being gay or proving of being gay is definitely anti-African. And the third thing on my list is I've noticed that a lot of sisters are not as well-read or as strong when it comes to knowledge of self compared to the men. And this movement is not just for men, although it appears to be male-dominated, and we all have our roles. Like, for example, the man is the frontline soldier, that's no doubt. But if women are the first teachers, and men, you know, we supposed to be dealing with things traditionally, and if men are supposed to be the sole providers, then we got to assume that the women are spending more time with the Watoto. And if the women are spending more time with the Watoto, but they're relying on a man to be the only teacher or the only one studying in the house because he's providing and he got to teach, but he's spending all his time providing as he should, then that's not going to benefit the seeds. Because the seeds are always with the women, and that's something that I've realized. You know, and there's even sick men that actually keep their sisters uneducated so they can overpower them or have one up on them, for lack of a better word. And both the woman as well as the man, you know, for the children to benefit, they both have to be equally equally strong when it comes to information and on point, and also understanding that our struggles are different. We have the same enemy, this cracker, but our struggles are different. You know, he's struggling to feminize and get rid of the black man and sexualize sisters. So they got to read the same books that we're reading. For example, one of my favorite books was written by a brother named Akil from Niggas to God, and it's primarily for the brothers, but sisters need to read that so they can understand the condition that the brothers are in. And so basically, you know, and also understanding that when you just rely on the man to be the only one, you know, studying or reading, then it turns into that's what daddy does, or my father's into that black thing.
Right.
And it's very, like I said, so it's just very critical that we teach the children that we value studying our greats, like, you know, Chancellor Williams, you know, Baba Baruti, and so forth. And that's basically it, sis. You know what I mean? Because the family is an army. So that's my 3 on the list.
Asante San, and I want to make this a disclaimer as well, Black family. We don't use the N-word on War on the Horizon. And so I know that, you know, maybe in something that you're reading or a title or something, just try to, you know, say the N-word, or, you know, because we're trying to eradicate that from our language, and that's something that we abide by here on the station. But Brother True, you know, I appreciate, these are strong. Let me go through these one more time, because these, you said, number 1, sisters, keep your legs closed until you meet a brother that is worthy. And that resounds with, if I'm not mistaken, it was Miss Shabazz who said something similar during the first hour. And as I say that, it's okay if some of these overlap, because it's good to hear different sides of different perspectives. But she was saying pretty much something very, very similar. So definitely, sisters, you know, I know it's hard in this over-sexualized environment that we live in, but this is getting really ridiculous. Unfortunately, you know, being very sexually promiscuous is leading to a lot of unplanned pregnancy. And I talked to a sister who, you know, told me the other day that she had 7 abortions. And when she said that, you know, I don't know what else she said after that, because I think I went into some type of, particularly after having a child, you know what I'm saying, after giving birth to a little princess. When she said that, it just took me back for a moment, like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's 7 African souls that never made it. And I'm not saying, I know people, you know, abortion is a touchy topic, but that's 7 African souls that never made their way here to do the work that we need to be done. And unfortunately, abortion is really taking out a large percentage of our future. So we got to keep our legs closed if we want to reduce the chances of having unplanned pregnancies. You maybe don't want to have a baby by that brother or whatever. Well, keep your legs closed in the first place. And you know, it is what it is. The more we do that, they say, well, he going to get somebody else. Well, let him get somebody else. You know, that he wasn't worth it in the first place. We definitely have to make ourselves more respectful. So I appreciate that one. You said stop accepting fags in your circles. Strong. Yeah. And you made a good observation when you said you never see a dyke in the midst of a group of brothers. And I never thought about that. You just said that, you know what I mean? You never see that, you know, but you always see these fag hags rolling with sisters. So we've got to definitely stand up and ostracize them from our communities. The third one you said was get knowledge of self, sisters. Read more. And this rings true to me because I know when my king and I got together, one of the things he always joked with me was, you know, he was very well read, but he had kind of slacked up a little bit. And when I came around, I was always like, did you read this book? Well, so-and-so said this. And he was like, I step up my game because you read more than me right now, you know. So it brings, number one, it goes to what Brother Lewis had said earlier. The more knowledge we have leads us to have more things to talk about pertaining to our race as a people. So to help us as sisters be able to have stronger conversations about race matters. So excellent suggestions, brother. I appreciate those. What I'm gonna do is, did I get all those correct? Did I sum those up properly?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to say real quick, I don't condone the use of the N-word either. Just quoting the title of a book. But that definitely has to be stated. We gotta definitely eradicate that word. I just wanted to say that.
Appreciate that, bro. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute you for a second here, and we're gonna go to callers. We already have a caller that is in queue that has a question, but for the call-in family, again, the number is 760-569-7676. The code is 948-656#. Once you are on, if you have a question, all you have to do is hit *6 on your phone, and you will be placed into our queue where you can present your question and or comment. All right. So I'm going to my call again. Just hit *6 on your phone, and you'll get placed in the queue. Caller, if your line ends in 4129, you are live on the Children of Southampton show. Any questions or comments for tonight's show?
Peace.
Peace, brother.
Peace, how you doing, sister? I just want to give love to everybody that's on the panel that shared their thoughts and ideas for the betterment of our community.
Yes, sir.
And much thank you, sister, for hosting this forum to make this happen.
Appreciate that, brother. No problem.
What I wanted to respond to quickly was the brother who said something to the effect of black women getting back to the kitchen. And I can just see that the hair standing up on black women throughout America when that comment was made. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I do want to say is that's the same brother who was mentioning that we are at war. Mm-hmm. So when you see food as biological warfare, then you know the necessity of taking back the kitchen in terms of feeding our babies, feeding our men who's out there on the front line going to battle, and feeding the womb itself, which birthed the universe.
Yes, sir.
So to all the women out there, I'm not trying to say I'm speaking for the brother. I can't say I know exactly what he meant, but what I got from it was the necessity of us preparing our own food in a way of war, because food is biological warfare, and we are dying from eating outside of our own kitchen. And that's all I'm going to say.
Asante Sanda, brother. Very strong comments. And yes, you are absolutely correct. I had confirmed with the brother and he's on the line. I'm going to unmute him for a second, see if he has any comments to that particular statement. But again, if you all listen to the first hour of the show, we had a sister who said the same thing from a little different perspective, but the same thing, that we have got to get back to feeding our families properly and getting in the kitchen is, in fact, I got her comment right here. I want to make sure I state it properly. Sister Jabaz said, start cooking from scratch. She said it guards the health of our family. And so, the woman, that's one of our roles. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Even for me, at the age I am now, I had to relearn a lot of things, because I'm at that generation where we were told, be an independent woman, all that Beyonce, all that crap was being poured into our heads, and as a result, cooking for somebody was like, what? I'm not cooking for no man. I remember growing up saying that. And as a result, my mother told me, you ain't going to have a man either. You know what I mean? So I had to relearn a lot of things in the kitchen in order to make sure that I am taking care of my family, providing them with nutritious meals, healthy meals, because those meals make them stronger. Particularly, my king does a lot of race work, and it's very important for him to be able to go out and not be physically ill. He needs to be able to be healthy in a healthy state of mind, body, as well as spirit. So appreciate that call. And I'm going to unmute Brother Lewis in case he had any comments to that. Brother Lewis, did you have any follow-up comments to what the caller just said?
I appreciate my brother calling in to save me from those whose hands are better than extended. But I would encourage the listening audience, particularly the sisters, to go look at the DVD, and this is put out by the enemy, but it's a lot of truth in it, Sicko, or Supersize Me. And follow up, not really follow up, but to add to what I was saying, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said that there were three things that he wanted all ministers to study, in particular, in order to be a good minister. He said they were music, medicine, and color. And he considered medicine food, because these are vehicles, he said, to get into the subconscious mind, which rules the conscious mind. whenever a person is eating bad food, has bad health, they are not going to be conscious. They're not going to be liberated. But if the mother would cook a good meal, it would ultimately lead to her getting into a powerful position into the subconscious mind of not just her children, but even her husband, driving deep, 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 because that subconscious mind is what ultimately rules the conscious mind, but the people have been dumbed down so, and you really don't even have the opportunity to teach and train your children properly until you master the kitchen, not in an enslaved way, but in a very liberating type manner. So I agree with my brother, agree with my sister, and appreciate them putting it out there even more.
Asante, most definitely. All right, our next caller, if your line ends in 7365, you are live. 7365.
Yes, peace, this brother Baruki Baruti. I just wanted to expand upon a comment made by our brother True.
Yes,
in terms of the woman being the first teacher and understanding the state we're in, our physical enslavement has ended, and now we're more so in the struggle in terms of mentally freeing ourselves, and so many of our people are enslaved mentally. In terms of what women can do in their role as being the first teacher, is we need to begin to look at creative ways to revolutionize the revolution, as we say, and begin to try to free ourselves mentally, because this is what we're really at war in terms of our conditioning and our mental bondage. I just wanted to add on.
Oh, Asante Sana, good brother. Appreciate that. That was excellent. And since you had addressed that or were coming off of Brother True's comment, I just want to unmute him, see if he had any thing to add on that. 1 second. Brother True. Oh, there you go. Brother True, did you want to comment or have anything follow up to say to the brother's add-on?
The brother's comment was powerful. Enough said.
All right. This is excellent, Black family. I'm enjoying this. Hope you all are enjoying this as well. I think this is excellent dialogue. Ain't nobody fighting. We ain't calling each other out of our names. We ain't, you know what I mean? Everybody's all love. We got some good dialogue going here. So I hope that you all are enjoying this as well. All right. Next caller, your line. I know this sister from the first show.
Yes,
you trying to come in here, you trying to start problems, sister. You can't come here starting no problems. Hopefully you got some good.
No problem. Actually, you want to say that a lot of stuff the brother was saying is not so much as a repeat, it's really reinforcement. And I think when there's reinforcement, we understand what we must do as African queens for our kings. But I'd like to really expand on the comment the brother said about the European way of the romanticism of how we think we're supposed to get the flowers, the cars, the big diamond carat rings, and all those things. We place value on the things that and I do agree with him. And it took me a while to get there. Because we are brought up in a society where we have a lot of sickness placed upon us to believe what they impress upon us is supposed to happen is the romantic. Romance is about, and I think Rudy said this one time, it's about really taking care of the normal things, the things that's in the home. I mean, it's not about extravagant gifts. It's about a person who's out there doing the work, who's at home doing the work, and, you know, who provides and protects their family. That's what the romanticism is about. So I agree with him. I know that might sound strange to a lot of women out there, but do you want someone who's there with the strength that they have to make sure the family is surviving, or do you want someone there who's basically going into debt to please you, another form of slavery, just to make sure that you are, you know, out with the Joneses or whatever the case may be.
Excellent.
I appreciate the brother's comments, and I support everything they say. And I do believe that getting back in the kitchen and cooking more nutritious is a helping way. As a matter of fact, we've just come up with a process in our household this month. Everybody picks a recipe, and we're going to get in the kitchen and prepare that recipe from scratch at least once a month together as a family.
All right. That's good bonding for the family. You know what I'm saying? It's a great way to spend some time because we all have busy schedules now. A lot of times everybody in the household is working and the children are going to school and they've got after school programs, and that's an excellent way to take some time out and spend some quality time with your families. That's excellent, sis.
And also, Sister Nevertari, it puts him in the kitchen to be honest.
Oh my. You said it, I didn't want to say that, but you said it. I didn't want to say it. You ain't getting me in trouble up in here.
That's all I have to say.
All right, sis. Appreciate that.
All right. Bye-bye.
And I'm going to go to Brother True, since that comment was directed at his suggestion, see if he has any follow-up to that. But I just want to add this piece. It's a little story. Jeannie can always tell you when we, early on in our relationship, I used to always tell him, you don't never send me any flowers. I need some flowers, Send me some flowers sometime. He was like, oh, God. He started sending me flowers. And after a while, I was like, the flowers will come. They were pretty, but the flowers going to die after, a couple of days. And I was like, okay, I really need this. And they look nice and pretty, but okay. So that's interesting. So, yeah, I had to get over that as well. That's one of yours truly had to fight to overcome as well. Let's go to Brother Free. Brother Free, you have any follow-up comments to what the sister said?
I can't say anything except she said it perfectly.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was trying to say, and I'm happy that there are some sisters out there who actually get it, because I know some of the things I said. As soon as I said it, like the brother said earlier, some hairs started standing up on the back of their necks, and
yeah,
a lot of them probably ready to fight.
Yeah, we lost a couple callers and a couple listeners after that, but no, I'm just playing.
Well, that's why I said the first thing I said, grow up, emotional maturity, because without that, we can't continue to have these conversations.
Most definitely.
Yeah, she said it perfectly, and I appreciate her for coming in and backing me up on that.
Okay. We have another caller here. Caller, if your line ends in 4517, you are live. 4517, you're live on the KOS program.
Ms. Fatari, how you doing? This is King Arrow.
Arrow, the most recently wed brother. That's right, King Arrow and Sister Malika. Well, they had a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, Black family. Queen Afua did the officiating, and oh man, I had such a great time in Brooklyn with you family last week. So, Asante for calling the program.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Just want to make a quick comment.
Yes, sir.
A lot of the women out there, they need to concentrate more on becoming wives and not girlfriends. That's a major problem in our community today, and a lot of fellas are too busy trying to be boyfriends and not trying to be husbands. So that's the beginning, because we can't build a nation without building a family first, because the nation can't be strong without a family involved. A lot of times also, too, is that a lot of these women these days, they give these titles to men as kings.
Mm-hmm.
And not every man is a king, so you can't just automatically give him a king title when he didn't earn it.
Mm-hmm.
So make him earn it. Stop laying down. Stop doing the things that is creating this problem that we have in our community today. So, I think that's the first steps in order to start building what we broke.
Let me ask you a question. Can you give us, when you say concentrate on being wives and not girlfriends, could you give us an example of something that would distinguish that? Because honestly, some of our sisters may not be clear on the difference.
Well, the difference is, it's a commitment. Marriage is a commitment. Marriage is a lifelong commitment, and you can't nation build being somebody's girlfriend. You only nation build being somebody's wife.
Mm.
So being a girlfriend is no title. That's a high school thing. When you're in high school, you say, I'm your girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend. That's what you do in high school.
Mm-hmm.
When you're grown adults, men and women, that's supposed to be building to be a boyfriend, because that's your boy. I thought I was a man.
So you're saying so an example of that is just throwing away the titles, throw away that title, that's a start, you're saying?
That's a start. Start trying to become a wife.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Start taking the steps necessary when you get into a relationship to build towards becoming a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them don't have that goal. A lot of people's goal is just to be, okay, I'm good right now. Let me just stick to being what I am. I'm comfortable. No, you need to make the commitment. You need to make the steps so that you can show the kids nowadays that this is the correct way to start nation building.
Mm-hmm.
Too many times these kids are watching us now. All these kids watch us. You know, they see that. Okay, well, mom is good. She has John. She has Ted. She has this guy. She has that guy. I mean, she needs to the child needs to see them with one man, one woman. We're gonna get married. This is how you do it. This is how we build a nation. Not like what TV is showing these days. Not what the radio's teaching us these days. That it's all right to be with a multitude of people.
You know, that's excellent, bro. I was saying that's excellent, you know, because actually, believe it or not, most sisters do have that goal in mind. They want to be the wife. They want that ring. They want that title. They want to be Mrs. So-and-so. However, there's a missing part to it, and that is, what do I need to do to become Mrs. So-and-so? What do I need to change within myself? As you said, concentrate on it. So I have to work on yourself, change your behaviors. And that's the hurdle that a lot of sisters don't want to go through. We want the Bridezilla, you know, whatever that show is on. I forgot the channel it comes on, but you know, we want to be Bridezilla. We want that fairy tale, again, going to what Brother True was saying. We want that romanticism of all the eyes on us and the fairy tale wedding, but we don't necessarily want to go through any process of actually becoming a wife, the wife that our grandmothers were, our great grandmothers were, of years gone by. We want just we want the ring, and that's it. We don't want to change. So I appreciate that. That was an excellent add-on to tonight's discussion. I do appreciate that. I must agree with you. That's a good one.
That is. I mean, it's something that I worked very hard on, as you can tell, you was at the wedding, so it's very important. It is extremely important. I mean, the first statement I said to Mom was, I'm not trying to be anybody's boyfriend. I'm going to be a husband. And that's a statement I made from the beginning, from day one. So, I mean, more men have to set that as a goal and that's what it is. And more women have to be wise and stop saying you're a queen if you're not a queen. You know, you have to act like a queen to be a queen. You can't just give your name, I'm queen this, I'm queen that. No, you have to act like a queen. You have to be a queen. You have to be a mother like a queen is a mother. You have to be a nurturer like a queen. There's a lot of things involved with that title, just like there's a lot of things involved with being a king. You know, so more of us just need to more concentrate on becoming, you know, kings and queens and build our kingdoms. That's the only way we're going to last. That's the only way longevity is going to be, because right now, as a lot of the guys sit on there, you know, society teaches us in a whole different route right now. They teach us how to be bags. They teach us how to do the things that's totally against what the Most High created us to be. You know, and you got to take first. Just start becoming more husband and wife than boyfriend and girlfriend. Most definitely.
Well, Santi Sana, good brother, that was excellent. Thank you so much for the bill. Hopefully you get a chance to call in again on some future programs and say, please say Viva Hodie to the Queen.
I will.
All right, bro. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.
Okay, Black Family, a lot of people been asking, Sister Nefertari, what are your 3 things? I got a couple text messages in and Facebook messages, and they say, you know, you have all these callers calling in, but what are you suggesting that Black women must do in order to help get us free? So I'm going to get into that in just a second. I'm definitely holding on strong to the comments that have been made tonight, and as well as offering my 2 cents. But let me just first open the lines again to our brothers and make sure they don't have any final comments before I make my comments. Let me unmute Brother Lewis. Did you have any final comments that you wanted to make about anything that you may be doing, or even about tonight's program?
Just one thing that didn't come up, sister, that I think it should come up. If you are a sister and you have a child, and you are no longer in a relationship with the father of that child, don't be so embittered because the relationship ended that you don't allow this child to see his father.
Excellent.
Particularly if his father is not on drugs, not molesting the child or pedophile or a criminal, but because you don't get along with him and you don't like him, you don't allow him to see his child. We got to rise above that if we're going to win this war. Last certainly, but not least, I think that it's important for sisters to have some type of conscious prayer or meditation that they offer for their families daily. But thank you so much, Sister Nefertari, for creating this platform so that we could dialogue and hear from one another.
Most definitely, Asante. And let me just go back to the call-in lines 1 second. I got somebody just raise their hands for a question. I want to make sure I get this caller in. Caller, if your line ends in 9830.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Peace be unto you once again, Brother Preston Muhammad. How you doing, Queen?
I'm doing blacktastic, brother.
Yes, ma'am. Two things real quick. One thing I want to say is that misinterpretations, particularly when it deals with religion or culture, when it comes to the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he had a particular chapter in Message to the Black Man that were misinterpretation and misunderstanding. Oftentimes when we hear things, especially from the Bible, Torah, Holy Quran, we think of the white supremacist disposition. That's not within the Nation of Islam. That's not something that we teach. We are very much inclusive, even though we might say black or someone else may say African. We're not saying that to disclude you or ignorant or to make you feel offended or anyone else offended. So for brothers and sisters who may take the disposition of thinking that, well, we're exclusive and it doesn't include you, I want to say no, it does not. The other thing I add is get the book by Sister Eva Muhammad. It's called Real Love, and how she defines what real love really is in terms of the legal aspect and spiritual component associated with love. Now, I'm not talking about infatuation. I'm not talking about how the enemy has taught us to look at our women, where most of us as black men come from. We look at you physically, but to look at you spiritually and get that kind of comedic energy and then move out from there. So get the book called Real Love by Sister Eva Muhammad. Thank you.
Asante, your brother Asante, thank you for those comments. Appreciate you. Yes, indeed. That was definitely a good comment there. Now, Black family, let me go to Brother Free and see if he had any final comments or questions he wanted to pose before I go into the wrap up with my commentary. Brother, did you want to add on anything?
I just wanted to say that it's time. I mean, hopefully tonight is the start for those sisters who haven't already done so to form a network with each other and a sisterhood that will check each other instead of one that enables. I know one of the sisters said that earlier, but that is very important because a lot of the issues that continue within our relationships continue because sisters won't check each other. They jump in, they throw their emotional spin on it, and they instigate situations. So I would say forming that sisterhood that checks each other is very important.
Most definitely, I would have to agree. Well, Asante Sana for being on the program as well, brother. Appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening as well.
Asante to you, sis. I appreciate it.
Asante. And we'll go to Brother True. Brother, do you have any final questions, comments that you would like to add to the program? Anything you want to let the family know?
Yes, ma'am. We just got to get back to the aspects of warriorhood, and recognizing that supreme couples create supreme families, and supreme families create supreme communities, and this is the essence of nation building.
Asante, Abib Vahodie, very strong indeed. And Asante to you for taking time out of your schedule as well to join us. Please tell your queen that I said Hotep in the seas as well. Appreciate that.
Garibu, I definitely will.
All right, Black fam, this has been a powerful program, and I want to wrap up with some comments. Again, the purpose of tonight's program was to be able to share some real practical things that we as Black women can begin doing immediately to help save our people, to help get us free. And I think that we have I just was counting over about at least 25 items here that I'm going to post on Facebook. I'm going to share through our email blast so the people who may not have been able to listen to tonight's program can partake in this as well. But this is a very, very, very important, Black family. We started tonight's broadcast off by dedicating the show to Trayvon Martin, who we know was recently murdered by a small hat cracker by the name of Zimmerman, who they're trying to put off to you as a Hispanic. If anybody with any sense, if you listen to War on the Horizon, you know to check the names. Zimmerman is a small hat name. There's no doubt about it. But in any event, the seriousness that is put upon us at this time, Black fam, we are faced with a very, very critical situation where we're facing extinction from the planet Earth. For the first time in all of humanity, we are the original man and woman on this planet, and we are faced with extinction in 2012. We are moving in that direction where we will no longer even exist. And I know many of you will say, oh no, we're never going to die. We're strong. We got strong sperm and we got strong ovaries in the womb of the woman. Look, you can say that all day, all night. What I see happening is I see Trayvon Martin's getting their brains blown out. What I see happening is I see Troy Davis is getting lethal injections in their arms. It don't matter how many petitions you sign, Black family. It don't matter. When Troy Davis was rotting in jail, a petition was going around and we were signing it. I signed it because I didn't want to, I didn't want anybody to say my name wasn't on that list. But I was thinking in the back of my mind, I knew the brother was gonna kill that brother. I knew it. They had one of their own. The cracker President Carter, I think it was, who was writing and saying, I don't think he should be murdered. They don't give a damn. They were going to kill that black man. And we didn't do a damn thing about it. And it's going to continue. Today is Trayvon Martin. Yesterday it was Troy Davis. 5 years ago or 7 years ago it was this sister by the name of Lavina Johnson. If you don't know about her, go online and Google Lavina Johnson. She was murdered brutally in Iraq by soldiers, and it was covered up. And her family began to check the story and find out what was going on. Now they're coming public with it and asking for help. These crackers are they are trying to destroy us. And yes, we understand that it is the cracker. When we say cracker, we're talking about whites. But we say cracker, we're talking about that sand cracker Arab, as well as slanty-eyed cracker Asian. They all out to get us. We understand that. It's a system of worldwide domination over the black race. It's a race to steal our resources. So it is imperative that as a family, we begin to look into how are we going to resolve this problem. We've got to start today. And these things that we talked about tonight may seem small. You may say, well, how are they going to help us get us free? As the sister said during the first hour, Sister Baz, as well as Brother Lewis said in the second hour, the kitchen. You might say, how are they going to get us free? If we are feeding ourselves healthy, nutritious meals, we can go out and face the world stronger and healthy. We got to worry about, oh God, I got an ulcer to deal with. I can't read a book tonight. I got to take this medicine and go to sleep because I got this ulcer. I can't go out and help those youth out there at that community center because I got an ulcer. I can't go out and train at the range. I ain't talking about the golf range. I'm talking about the shooting range. I can't go out and train because I got this. I got diarrhea. I'm talking serious. I'm talking real talk. This is important things we're talking about this evening. Closing our legs. It's important stuff. It's not a joke. How is that going to help get us free? It's going to help get us free because you're not opening yourselves to various sexually transmitted diseases, what the cracker has designed to get into our bodies and destroy our very physicals, which will take you out faster than you can blink. I'm reading the other day talking about on CNN, there's a new study that came out. They're saying that the black women in America have a high, the HIV rate is on the steady rise, and that in some parts of this country it mirrors sub-Saharan Africa, the AIDS rate and stuff. How the hell is it possible? You have to ask yourself this question: how is it that black folks seem to be the only ones who have a high rates of HIV? Are the so-called Hispanics not having sex? Are the Asians not having sex? Are the crackers not? Come on, they having sex too. They are giving these diseases to us, and the more we are running around here having unprotected sex, the more we are having just being sexually promiscuous with everybody on the block, the more we are allowing them to come in and invade our bodies and destroy us through genocide. It's happening. Black family, let me give you my 3 things. we've got to begin, number one, to tell our babies, and Brother True touched on this one, we've got to begin to tell our babies that white sex is unacceptable and destructive to our race. And for those of you who may be listening, say, well, what's white sex? We categorize white sex as anything that is anti-African. That is homosexuality, pedophilia, bestiality, any of these sexual perversions that the cracker, this is their culture, not ours. It is not. I had to delete somebody as a friend on Facebook today because I was going through some of their posts and they were saying they had somebody in there talking about homosexuality has been in Africa for thousands of years before the Europeans. Shut up. Get out of here with that. No, it has not. This is not our culture. So when you understand that, you got to tell our babies. I'm talking about your children today. Those who are your godchildren, your cousins, your nieces, whatever. Tell them this is unacceptable behavior and it's destructive to our race. My king and I were coming home from Brother Errol's wedding, as a matter of fact. Errol and Malika got married in Brooklyn. And we come home. He told the story last week. We're coming home, black family, and we stopped off. We were on our way home, and I'm telling him, we should go to a basketball game. We should do something in this community. There's a high school, and it's all black. We should go and partake in maybe a game and, just try to get involved with the community. He was like, hell no, we ain't going to a basketball game. That school got so many homosexuals. And I was like, dang, that's right. Little young sister did tell us that one day that's gotten out of control over. He's like, I don't want to be around that. And no sooner did he said that we're riding by a park, and two things occurred. He mentioned one of them, but two things occurred. First, we saw a young couple in the park having a picnic, and we said, oh, we both said at the same time, oh, that's so cute. Then we said, oh, wait, let's look close. We had to do a double take to make sure that the person with the locks wasn't two females. We wanted to make sure that was a brother, and luckily it was a brother. We both had a sigh of relief. Whew, that's a brother. Thankfully, But then we drove down the road, and here you have a group of about 10 young black males. It had to be at least 10 of them, practicing some type of dance routine. And we got it on videotape. And if you go to my Facebook page, I have it on my Facebook page. It says the killing of black manhood, genocide in full view. This is real. This ain't no joke. Anytime you see 10, not one, not two, 10 black male between the ages somewhere of 15 and probably 20, 21, dancing and gyrating in front of, for the world to see, we are in a serious problem. And black women, let me tell you something. We are the first teachers of our children, of our babies. We are the ones who are supposed to instruct them on the way to go. Their fathers are supposed to give them that discipline to keep them straight and narrow, but we got to give them the instruction. We're the first ones. You got to tell them that this white sex is unacceptable. Number two, tell your babies that dating, sex, marriage outside of the race is unacceptable and destructive to our race. It is no better than practicing in some type of white sex behavior. If you marry outside of the race, then you are giving yourself, you think about all these, think about Michael Jackson. He married outside the race, had these offspring, which I don't even know if are biologically his, but he claimed them as his own. So he kicks the bucket, and then he gives billions of dollars to some offspring who are not going to put that back into our community. They're not going to do that. So it's unacceptable and destructive to our race. Dress more appropriately. Move toward commanding respect from brothers. Sisters, come on. Come on. This starts with us. I heard brothers, and it was two brothers and a sister having a conversation in the store the other day, and the brother was saying, yeah, these sisters, they dress like that. Then got nerve to get mad when you say something to them. They shouldn't even dress like that. And I was like, wow, that's good, because here's the thing. As the brother True was saying, we as sisters can really direct the way our brothers go. If we are dressing more appropriately and we ain't spreading our legs to everybody to come through, they gonna straighten up because they want to be with us. The whole world wants to be with the black woman. Take around and look. The whole world wants to be with the black woman. Keep it real. They won't say it. They might not put it out in the mainstream, but they want to be with the black woman. So when the black woman stands up and commands dignity and respect for herself, you better believe everybody else is going to follow suit. So as a result, some people say, you always talk that Sister Levitari, we need to dress more appropriately. What are we supposed to do? I am dressing more appropriately. Well, I'm going to start putting out some things. I'm going to start giving some contacts via email of different clothing merchants that I support, black merchants who make clothing, who have clothing lines, to give you an idea of where you can buy clothes from. But just to let you know, if your breast is showing, that ain't the way to go. If your skirt is too short, that ain't the way to go. Okay? If your stomach is showing because it's getting hot outside. You know, sisters want to show off belly rings and tattoos. No, that ain't the way to go. We got to cover up. I'm not saying you have to wear the full Muslim garb, no disrespect to our black Muslim family, but I am saying that you need to cover up and be decent so that you are not exposing all of your goodies. You know how your grandparents say you're showing your goodies. You don't show all your goodies to the world. Make that brother wait for that. It should be something that you hold sacred and you share with that person that you love. All right? And last but not least, I'm going to say this is actually more than 3 things. I'm sorry, I'm throwing another one out here. This is one of the very important ones. Sisters, something you must do to help get us free is get a weapon. Get a weapon. If you don't have the money to get a gun right now, you can go and get a nice blade. Get a nice strong blade. You can listen to the Black Survivors Be Ready or Be Dead show that the brother Minister King Samir does on Wednesday night, and he can give you further instruction on what to do and how to use it. But you need to get something to protect your family. Our brothers, it's very important that our brothers protect us, but we are supposed to be the second line of defense in our family. With that, if they come through that man and he is taken out, we are supposed to be there standing tall, standing ready to defend the black family, to defend the nation so that they do not get to our children and to our elders. That is our responsibility. All right. Think about Ya Santiwa. Think about Queen Nzinga. Think about Queen Nanny. They stood up as black women and said, I will defend my nation as well. I take the responsibility seriously. Where is that spirit today? It damn sure ain't out here with Beyonce shaking everything she got on TV, or Rihanna, or even some of us so-called conscious sisters. That ain't the way to go. That doesn't reflect Queen Nzinga. But we need to get a weapon, all right? And let me tell you something. A lot of our brothers, unfortunately, because this cracker has made it illegal for some of them to get weapons, get guns and things like that, because they convict them of these crimes, they can't get the weapons. But you know what, sisters? We can. I ain't got to say more. We don't have to put more into that, but we can get the weapons. So you go down, get yourselves a minigun, especially now. It's getting tough out here. It's getting harder. Look, Zimmerman had a gun, and look what he did with it. How come you never hear about, well, sometimes you do when you think about our brother that took that ride on the Long Island Railroad. Sometimes you hear about some good black folk that did their job. But you don't hear the shoe on the other foot too often. I'm tired of hearing about these crackers putting holes in our babies, in our black men, in our black women. I'm tired of it. We need to weapon up, defend ourselves. It's time, black family. And I really want to just, close out the show by saying, again, just Asante Sana to everybody for all of this information they have put out. I mean, I've learned a lot. I've got 3 pages of notes here that I'm ready to share with the family. I hope that you learned something tonight. I hope it was beneficial to you. We're going to continue to do this. And look, we're going to have a show coming in the next few months, in which we're going to flip the coin. And we're going to go to our compliments. And we're going to say, what must the black man do in order to help get us free? And we're going to do another panel. We're going to have another panel of brothers and sisters. And we're going to ask the same questions to them to come up with 3 things that the black man can start doing immediately to help get us free. All right, black families, this is going to be a balanced discussion. And it's going to be a discussion for the whole family. So again, Asante Sana to everyone, all of our wonderful panelists, the brothers and the sisters, all of our wonderful callers who call from all over giving insight and suggestions. And again, please join us for future shows. Our next show, you'll know when next show comes out. Our show, the KOS program, I should say, is not a scheduled program. It's kind of on demand. It'll come out. You'll see emails. If you're our Facebook friend, you go on Facebook and add us as a friend. You'll get a notification about it that way, or make sure you email us at building@ourcause, building@ourkos.com, and we'll be sure to add you to our email list as well, and you can get the information that way as well. So we're gonna leave out tonight, Black family. I'm just gonna play some of that Southpaw again. Did you hear the Southpaw song? Sisters, I want you to really listen. In case you didn't hear the Southpaw song, it's a short song, but it's a beautiful song. In case you didn't hear it, I'll play it one more time. So Asante Sana, a beat for Hodie, Black family. Freedom requires bloodshed.
Every limb in this war I'm in, would you round them up and piece me back together again? Say a prayer over me as my soul ascends. Ask God to forgive me for my sins. Like a czar in a set, the rule back in Egypt. Would I return as a mythical leader? Would the rebels die with me in the name of freedom? Trapped in the bowels of this barbaric region. Gotta fight until the children stop killing one another. Cops killing bunches of us, that's enough of us. Men with the single mothers, brothers, single mothers. Let the men raise warriors. Jettison the fear, we will bear casualties of war. If we don't fight, there'll be even more. There'll be dark nights when you might lose a husband, might lose a son. It's a sacrifice for black life like